Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 572.
I want a catchphrase to yell at the beginning of the show. I have the catchphrase for the end of the show. We'll get to that at the end of the show. I've already commandeered Samantha as a helper. She knows what I want to say. But I want something to say at the beginning of the show. A shout out to a podcast that's not around anymore, Crab Feast. You know, they always had a little something at the beginning to get moving.
They touched pitches.
Yeah, and I was thinking of going like, sucking fat titties.
Nah.
What if we do your ride the verbal roller coaster?
Oh, I like that. You ready?
Yeah,
We go,
let's do
sucking
it.
fat titties. Come on! All over your titties.
That seems like too much energy.
I'm tired now. I'm so tired.
Yeah, see?
now.
That's what
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. It's a Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Hi, Sam.
Hey.
No hoodie today because it's hot as fuck
kinda
outside. Sales baby.
Yeah.
He's my sales baby. It is Travis Butler.
Hello.
King of smiles. Nobody.
And snacks.
Hey, nobody for this company is funnier, in my opinion, or brings more of a smile to my face than you, my friend.
You just lied to my face.
No, I didn't. You fuck up so much that nobody.
It's so childish.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Andrea couldn't believe it. She thought it was a bit.
No.
Yesterday when we were on the Fairvilla call, she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's so immature. He can't stop giggling.
How dare her?
No, she likes you, and my daughter loves you. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't seen this particular gentleman that I'm about to tell you who's here now. We haven't seen him in, what did you say, 3 months?
No, 2. It's we had him the last show Seth was on, and really it was the last guest
I'll
we had
find it.
in on our Friday free show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She keeps notes.
Which is funny because 2 months ago you were wearing the
You have
mask.
that right there. Like,
This whole writing
yeah,
thing's down.
funny enough, I had the this is a new one. This is an upgraded. Nice Japanese.
But 2 months ago you had
I
the
like
mask
that.
on and you were wearing it as a joke, and we're
that's
like,
great.
God, you don't like. It's so funny.
Well, no, remember he had the flu the week prior. At least we thought it was the flu.
No, I got the antibody test to see if that
Oh,
makes
really?
sure that was.
That's
the flu.
not accurate.
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I canceled my
Nothing's-
I had my appointment Monday, and then Tom and I were talking about it, and I knew that it was like there's a chance it's inaccurate or whatever. And then I looked it up, and they're like, it's only 30% accurate. I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking
30?
do
Is that what it is?
30%. I'm like, I'm not even
40%.
going
Even
to
the
do
Quest
it.
one?
I was like, I'm not even. That's where I was going, and I'm like, I'm not even going to do it until it gets better, because I'll just stay inside. I don't
What'd
need
it
to.
say?
Why not just get it a bunch of times?
Well, here's the no, but here's
It's just blood.
March 13th was the
doesn't
last
come-
time. Friday the 13th.
No, I mean, why
it's
not
not
just-
like a lotto ticket.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
why
what
not?
if
If I get
it might
three,
be, but it might not
30s.
be. It might not be accurate the first time, the second time, but maybe you'll be in that 30 percentile where it is accurate.
Yeah, but then you
Fourth-
wouldn't know because you've had negatives and positives. So at that point, it's dartboarding, right?
Well, I thought it was only iffy on the negative
See,
side. I thought once it's a positive, it's definitely a positive.
Here was where I thought. Here's where I thought. I thought like, okay, it's not that accurate. I'm trying to be wise, right? Let's just use smarts. I was like, it's not that accurate yet. It will probably get more accurate, right, as we get more data and as more people are tested. But what I said logically is like, why would I want to go into a facility that's testing people for this when I know I don't have it? Why would I subject myself to being in like basically a tiny hospital? Why would I do that? It'd
Don't they
be
have
easier
mail-in
just
tests?
it'd just be easier to stay at home, wash my hands, and not even do it until it gets better, right? So that was my thinking. I might be wrong, but hey, I'm just being honest with you.
Here is what I'm certain of. All the misinformation out there, no one has any idea of anything.
There
I
it
agree.
is. There it is.
And
Bingo.
so to me, I'm
hit
just like,
the nail on the sand.
I'm like, oh, you don't want me to go out in large groups? check that
Done.
off. Done. I didn't want to anyway
Right.
before this, and I'm happy. So good. And
The latest conspiracy is that Tom manufactured the COVID-19 virus because he didn't want to do the BDM event.
no,
I've heard it.
I've heard it. I've heard it.
It's one of those scenarios where we're in a reality where whatever you read, it's like you got to question: is like this accurate? I have fucking no idea.
That's what pisses me off most about this.
You
Is
have no
literally
idea.
Everything I read, even from scientific journals and stuff like that, it's like, well, is it left leaning? Is it right leaning?
Yeah, it's
like,
all
which side do I fucking believe?
Well, let's
I
talk
hate
about
You
this.
can't have facts anymore.
No, you can't have facts.
I got a fact for you. Let's talk about it because I'm just going to lay it out there right now. Let's talk about some facts, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing about this.
Yeah.
But tonight, my wife has said, I'm getting frogged.
Oh, Froggin Fridays?
I'm getting frogged on Friday.
Yeah. Friday. Froggin Friday.
I'm getting frogged tonight, guys.
Now
It's happening.
Report back on
She told
Tuesday.
me. She told me she's purposely not doing like a Peloton workout so her legs hurt. So her legs are ready to frog. It's frog time.
It's all right.
do you?
Well,
He
you're
gets the
talking
regular
about
frog.
you're talking about the guy
22-year-old
who eats 25 butts a night. I mean, like frogging to him might as well be just a cheese sandwich.
He's got a milking table over here.
yeah,
I haven't
exactly.
touched anything in a long time.
Oh
no, yeah, well, her, yeah, but
Oh.
my girlfriend. Yeah. I'm just meant others. It's horrible.
Oh, we figured that with her girlfriend.
Yeah, what the fuck?
My gosh, she probably doesn't even have an asshole left. You've eaten it away.
Yeah, we've been working on that. That's the.
The butt thing is not. She's not as good. She's
young.
not as
She's
into it
young.
as you are.
She's young. She's
Yeah, but that's a fresh butt.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
You don't want an old butt.
I want
An old lady's butt looks like an old sock.
So
inside out.
you know what's interesting is I've heard the comments from a lot of people because we've talked openly about like Daniel's like worry about like different illnesses.
Yeah, my
and the
anxiety and
hypochondria
hypochondria.
the anxiety.
I am like diagnosed from a doctor to have those
And
things.
we've talked about this before, but when I have an encounter with someone, they're like, "Oh, how's Daniel dealing with all this, man? I bet he's," and I'm like, "Nope, he like you don't understand. He's like not he's irrational. Anxiety causes irrational."
I'd go to
fears.
Publix nude right now. I won't do it, but I would.
He's more worried about getting liver cancer right
Thank
now
you.
than COVID.
It's stomach cancer today. Today is stomach cancer.
It's the rare
I know what I got.
irrational things.
Oh, you got something new?
Yeah.
So Seth, I was going to ask
God
you.
damn it,
since-
he's dying. I knew you were.
I knew
love
it.
it,
I
buddy.
could feel it when he walked in.
And I'm scared to go to the doctor because I don't think doctors' offices are clean right now. So I'm at this fucking conundrum of like, do I go and figure out what this is, or do I
Yeah.
stay home and potentially not get COVID, or go to the doctor and risk being around all these germ people? And
Yeah.
What do you
germ
think
people.
you
Yeah, so
have?
what you got, bro?
I have
I'm
been
sitting right next to you.
itching.
I know. You. Oh, what the
Oh,
fuck,
you
man?
got itch
he came in here with
cancer.
scabies.
Oh, you got
Like,
itch cancer?
no,
That's the
like-
worst cancer.
like-
You can't scratch it off.
Like in different spots, I'll get tiny little red, and I think maybe it's because I think I googled this.
Hold
before.
on, I'm
Dude, he's got
seriously
crabs.
like, why are we
My
allowing him
beauty-
in the studio?
No.
You didn't vet him
No,
before he
Sam,
came in here.
I have this. I
I
told
said
you
he-
guys about it all week.
I think
What do
it's-
I? What
He
do
said
I
he had
talk
itch
about?
cancer. I said,
What
that's
was I
fine.
just
Tom,
talking
I'm
about?
gonna kick your ass.
What
Like
was
on the
I
neck-
just
on the
talking
neck
about
and
this
the
morning?
ribs?
What? I have allergies and I get itchy.
I have allergies too, but not skin allergies. I don't
Dude,
think.
as you get older, your allergies get worse. It's 100% itchy allergies,
Are you
guaranteed.
sure? What, itchy allergies from
Guaranteed.
what? I get my allergy shots once a month.
Hold
Doesn't
on.
matter.
What
They
did
get worse.
WebMD say? They know.
I didn't. I've
Well,
literally
they
been
he has
sweating.
scabies.
I
That's what he
literally
has,
on
and it's
it.
highly contagious.
They
No, I
said
don't
he
have
has.
God
scabies.
damn
I
it.
don't have scabies.
You have cancer AIDS.
Oh.
Hyphen scratch.
But I have
scratchatosis.
looked, I have looked at
I'm
this up in
fucking
the
itchy
past.
now, God damn it.
Yeah, see? Oh, my nose itches. Hang on.
Tom loves this. Look how happy he is.
No.
Because nothing like Tom can't feel his own body. He's just a head. Like there's no self awareness in
Yeah,
here whatsoever.
yeah.
So pain to you, or just like if you
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you don't even feel this stuff.
I
You're
don't-
not hyper aware.
No, not at all. I'm whatever the opposite of that is. I'm unaware of everything.
Your underwear.
I literally had
There's
my
hyper aware, and then there's underwear.
Tom's
your
like,
underwear.
oh, it's fine. Seth's coming back in. He's the cleanest guy.
I am.
Now he's in
I
here with
haven't
a
been on
fucking
anybody.
rash.
Yeah, but you're leaving a trail of scabs.
I had my girlfriend like literally head to toe check me out for like, do you see any bumps? Do you see any lines? Do you see anything
That's
red?
what I do with my wife.
And she's like, no.
Did she look in your
She's like,
butthole?
well, there is some dots here, but I think it's just heat. Maybe
Did she look in your butthole?
She's not a doctor. She
I
doesn't
made
know
my
what the fuck
wife.
she's looking
I
at.
made my wife.
What the
No,
fuck
no.
is happening?
No, I'm
my-
embarrassed to her to look at my butthole.
No, I
'cause
made my
skin
wife
tone.
open my butthole up like a baby's and then shine a mag light right into it, staring right into the pink.
Was that Royd looking back at her going, what's up?
No. You know, actually, she took a picture of it with my phone. And
Oh,
my
God.
roids don't look as bad as I thought. Like, in my mind, I think my roids hang down like a squid's tentacles. But they don't. They don't. They don't. It's fine back there. Everything looks good.
Is that the picture you sent me that one time?
No, that was my balls. Okay. One
I
time.
think you sent me a picture of your butthole. You're like, look how
No.
clean it is, because I said, no way it's that clean.
No, I did. Okay, you know what? I've only sent you two D pics or scandalous pics. One was of my very clean pink butthole. The other, we were going to Wing House to get like dinner after something we did, and I was backlit from the lights over the car.
It's the old bald
So
picture.
I put my
that's nice.
phone under my balls and then took a picture up, and then so my balls was just the shadow of my balls with hairs coming off of them. Oh, it's
That's kind of
fantastic.
nice.
Yeah, it looked like a wooded area.
My butthole looks like a sarlacc pit.
What?
A radio
It's a Star Wars
personality we know of got laid off a while back for taking a picture of his balls and putting it on like a coworker's phone as a joke. And we know the person. Like it had nothing to do. Like this person did it as a joke. We know him.
Daniel did.
But anyway,
Oh, no.
it was a female coworker and did not go.
Oh,
Can't do
it
that.
was a girl.
Cannot do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No.
You have to ask permission
Well,
first.
you used to.
And then
He's like,
you
hey,
send
can
him the dick.
Can I take a? Well, it was more of like you put a screensaver as their
Oh, yeah,
background.
yeah, that's awesome.
It was
I
a
used to do it
practical-
to when we moved in here.
Fire.
I put Lemon Party on your computer. I've done it to my wife where I change her screensaver to just a picture of a giant dong.
Yeah. Don't do that to female coworkers.
When I first
Stick
opened
to
the gym,
males.
when I first opened the gym and I didn't care as much, I did that on the screensaver for our main computer at the gym. So, me with my dick tucked like this. On the gym. I'm like, this is not very professional.
Hey, welcome
2008,
back. Yeah.
different
Welcome
time. So anyway, speaking of that, like me telling people, like, well, Daniel's not like. And his anxiety, basically, he runs at a pegged 100% anxiety all the time. And then the rest of the entire world got up close to Daniel. So then Daniel's running normal with everybody else.
I am.
Daniel can't go any higher. Like, so it's like he's pegged at 100%. And so everybody expects you like, oh, he must be.
I'm not worried about it.
He's already at 100. You can't go past.
Now, just see, you got to be careful though, because if you tell people, there's an element of guilt too. That when you tell the people, they will ask me. You know, I'm more susceptible to being asked that, and they'll say like, "Oh, you're really scared, right? You're really concerned." You can't just say. You get like hate when you're like, "Nah, I'm not worried at all." I mean, because you know what they think? They think that means you're not being
taking it
careful,
seriously,
and
yeah.
I'm like,
Responsible.
"No, that's not what I said." Are you listening to the words that come out of my mouth? I didn't say I don't think it's real. I didn't say I'm not taking it seriously. I said I'm not worried about it. That's different.
It is different.
I
You're
have
right.
washed my hands.
Because you are taking the precautions.
I've
and staying
washed my
home.
hands to the point where they are falling apart, man.
Yeah, of course.
I keep the studio as clean as humanly possible. Thanks to SugarWorks, we're gonna need more. Hopefully I'm okay I spray that shit on everything.
You guys want disinfectant? I got the hookup now.
yeah, man.
Well,
We do too,
SugarWorks
bro.
is making
One of our
like
sponsors,
a hand
It's the
sanitizer.
goddamn Lysol.
really?
It's fantastic. So I use
where's
that
it?
everywhere.
Behind
But
us?
anyway, to echo what you're saying, no, I'm not worried, but I'm not at all. I think it's real, and my heart goes out to people that are dealing with it and dying.
You're
I'm
right.
just not scared.
You do bring up a good point, because if you say you're not worried or scared, then people immediately assume
They politicize it and make you the bad guy.
that you're not taking it seriously, or you're being you're not responsible
Right.
or whatever.
They're
And
adding
it's
in
like-
their own context.
Yeah.
with-
It's
Yeah,
like,
you're
yes.
just writing the end of the story. You're
Right.
changing history. That's not what I said.
yeah. It's be cool, everybody.
I don't know. I went up. I was already at a 7 or 8, and now I'm at a 9. So
Really?
I went up. Oh yeah.
No, I didn't go up.
I mean, half of that was me, the fear of losing my business.
Yeah.
And then the real estate.
I didn't
then
even
thought
worry
everything
about
was gonna crash.
that.
So I'm worried about I'm worried about money and my health. So it's like I'm doubling up on this.
Well, businesses that were told you have to shut down, I mean, that fucking sucks. And no matter what, and nothing political about it. It just, you have a business, this is your livelihood.
Which I
and then
understand.
now it's like you have to shut down, and you understand. You're
Yeah,
like,
I
okay.
understand.
But then it's like, all right, well, I have employees, I have to make a living and stuff. Like, all right, how can we do this? And it looks like you've been
We pulled
doing
it off.
responsibly.
Luckily, we pulled it. And since we've been open now, we've been doing. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the posts I've been making on Facebook and how what we've been doing and stuff like that.
Yeah. We laughed at it.
We literally.
Well, we laugh at everything.
Yeah, that's true.
We're like, look at all these guys. They're like, we're being safe, and they're punching.
The one guy, there's one guy in there. He's punching like, and I'm like,
it's probably rapid fire punches.
No, but then he looks to the camera because he's like, and he's like. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't look at the camera. Never look at the camera.
It was an actual class going on. We installed, like, we chiseled out concrete. This is for the downtown location. We chiseled out concrete for the front steps, installed plumbing and stuff like that. So we have a full freaking hand wash station as soon as you walk in. Touchless hand wash. You just wash your hands.
That's dope.
Yeah. And then we got a new towel service from Cintas that every student gets their own towel with disinfectant bottle and stuff like that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Literally, like
You had a hand-free washing station at the
we
Mary
put one there.
location
Yeah,
as well.
we installed one there too.
I forgot this snowflake over here almost threw up on his class. His first.
First it was.
That's not good. You're not supposed to be expelling fluids in your goddamn gym.
As long as you went outside.
He was gonna do it right on the floor.
It's like their first day open, and Butler's vomiting brown rice and broccoli over everything.
Just spraying it.
That'd have been so hard to clean up too, on that AstroTurf.
Yeah, on the turf.
Because his wife douses it with some sort of like, I put ginger dressing and extra Parmesan on it. I'm like, oh my God.
So
Barfo.
All right, enough with this bullshit. So let's get down to business.
The old black grandpa you came at. Enough of these bullshit.
Everybody, no one wants to hear it.
Yeah, it's a big fuck it.
So, okay, have you guys seen that Mike Tyson has been hinting at coming out of retirement?
I thought Evander Holyfield said that the ink is almost dry on the page, man.
I tried to read a bunch last night, and it's really inconclusive whether he's going to fight Evander. Because then Evander started making jokes like, I'll fight him if he wears a mask. And then I'm like, that doesn't sound real. Like, there would have to be a huge promotion behind it and a reason for these guys to do it. Like, they're both wealthy.
Yeah.
They don't need to do it for the money. There's talk about doing it for charity.
I've
but it's
seen
like,
Tyson lately just because of his podcast. I have not seen Evander Holyfield lately, but I would imagine once you become an adult, an elite athlete, it's pretty hard to fall off because
it's easy to get back. If you do, it's easier to get back.
Yeah, but you kind of get addicted to staying in good shape, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
most of the time.
If you see Tyson, the videos of him just shadow boxing, you're like, oh wow, like
but everyone looks good on pads.
Exactly, or
except my wife. Oh yeah.
Although I wouldn't want to fucking fight that guy. Like that guy will kill an average person. So
well, he's nothing. There's no off switch. So like to me, you've already seen what he's capable of when he completely goes out of control. That's
57 years old.
It's still in there.
Yes, he is old now.
Evander is?
Yeah.
Well, Tyson's 53, I think.
53.
So what's interesting? Then you read some articles, and there's like I forgot the name of the boxer, but he's like 28 and like a white dude. He's a heavyweight. Not that famous, but a accomplished boxer.
You guys know I called him out.
Yes,
I'll
talk to you
bring
about
it
that.
up.
We're getting there.
I don't know that's where you're going with this.
So this boxer was like, Mike Tyson shouldn't come out of retirement. Like, I could easily beat Mike Tyson. And I believe that guy just because, like, you're 28, you're a professional boxer, he's a heavyweight, and so and you're talking about fighting a 53-year-old man. He is Mike Tyson, but still, you can't, you're not a superhero. You don't have magical powers. Like, you're 53, you're going to lose a lot of steps, and you're going to lose a lot of speed. You're going to lose a lot of ability over time. Right. There's a reason why But
we always want to. I think human nature would lend you to want to root for you still got it.
Yeah.
And there really is no such thing as you still got it.
At a certain point, yes.
Yeah,
I think
Tyson
fighting Evander Holyfield, that's a different because they're both old. So then
you could say you still have most of it.
You still have some of it.
Not all.
It's also varying degrees of what are you doing if you're like writing. If you're playing music, if you're like, let's say you're an accomplished saxophone player, you're going to have a little more longevity to still got it than you would an NFL running back or an elite fighter.
Never thought of that.
Well, you just have less time. It's not to say the
physicality of it.
You can't judge everything based on the same currency level, if that makes sense.
Do you think Tyson bites off his other ear?
I mean, they're the jokes.
Even it up.
I mean, so I haven't been following this. Is he going to be like? Is he actually trying to fight younger fighters, or is he actually trying to do this little like bullshit where he's fighting another old fighter? I mean,
I think it might just be a
I think
one-off.
it's like a one-off thing.
Yeah. Also, Tyson is a little nutty, so you can't really take
He's got a
anything.
fucking beard now. I saw.
Yeah, but
I think he looks cool.
You can't really take
Looks like
anything he
Kimbo.
says seriously because
that's why I was
he's
going to comment on that. But
he's a little out of it. He's always been that way, you know.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat for sure.
So, but anyway, this led me to Seth's post, which I saved, and Seth put on his Facebook, "I'll fight Mike Tyson tomorrow," and then it got me thinking. You know, a bunch of people were commenting about it, and I was like, "Be interesting." Here's why: because now, if it's an MMA fight, for sure Seth would beat Mike Tyson. I would bet $100,000 on it. Now, a boxing match, though. That makes it interesting because now, you know, Seth's not a 28-year-old boxer like professional.
Yeah, but you can't use your secret weapon is that crazy saber toe you have.
So now you have
I'll
kick him in his shin.
Yeah, that thing will kill people.
Seth, would you even put yourself in the category of amateur?
I've amateur boxed a few times.
First
First
of
of
all.
all,
now you're
Get
gonna
him.
get yourself beat up.
I didn't know.
Second, when I was training, like right before UFC for King of the Cage fights, and actually a couple of my beginning UFC ones.
King of the Cage. That sounds like a wrestling pay-per-view.
There's actually a huge organization out west.
Really?
Yeah, for Vegas, Phoenix, and stuff like that.
That's
anyway,
awesome.
California. UFC and King of the Cage, I trained with probably 4 or 5 professional heavyweight boxers, like in the ring probably once or twice a week, full full boxing, like full training, like with them and stuff. And I held my own, knocked them around. Like I was fine boxing.
So, and you taking the element of, you know, you're not a 28-year-old fighter anymore. You're
39.
You're only, you know, let's say 14 years or 13 years younger than Tyson. Not that much of an age.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know, I mean,
I think 40 to 50 is a big.
it is a big
I
jump.
just hope it is.
No, I kind of think it is. I mean, 30 to 40 for me, as far as deterioration of my body, is.
Oh, see, deterioration.
Yucko.
Yeah, I mean, I look better now than I did at 30, I think, but I feel way worse.
So,
A lot of that's
He's
up
gonna
here.
knock
buddy.
you the fuck out, dude.
No, a lot of that. A lot of that's up here.
so that would be an interesting fight. It wasn't like
I've never been knocked out in my entire career except for
Well, here you
on the
go.
ground one time.
well, that's one.
Well, yeah, that's one. But it wasn't standing. It wasn't standing. It was a jiu-jitsu type thing.
Did you get any reply at all? Because I saw you did.
No. Just a lot of retweets, a lot of hearts, a lot of
Yeah,
comments,
how many? You
but
get a
no.
lot of retweets?
Yeah, a lot of retweets.
Good.
But no, like.
It.
I could keep going with it. I was thinking about keep going. Like his National Meditation Day, I was gonna say something like, "Yeah, you better meditate on this, motherfucker."
All right. Yeah,
Listen here, Mister.
You need some help with your shit talking.
I think-
WWE.
Yeah, I do. I never
like
said
it.
that.
If Tyson gets back in the ring, it's going to be a gigantic, like internet event for a gigantic.
Well, they're doing
promotion,
it for
you know?
charity, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my pocketbook.
And it seems like if Tyson does,
do you have a pocketbook?
Yep. I have a coin purse. Yes, I do.
What I would be interested in is the gambling implications in it, because now if he fights Evander Holyfield, it's like too hard for me to.
Holyfield looks good as hell too. By the way, I
Does
was watching a video of him working out.
But it's too hard to gauge. Now, if he fights a younger boxer, then I think the public would think Mike Tyson would beat this guy, and I think the edge would be in the younger boxer. I would take the younger boxer all day.
You don't think that the public thinks Tyson would beat Holyfield if it's two old men?
The problem is I feel like there would be an equal amount of money on Holyfield because of their age and all of a sudden now you got two old boxers fighting each other, which you don't know if it's going to be like the McGregor fight with a Mayweather, where it's kind of like this is a real fight, but it seems like they had an idea of how it was going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like
It was a sparring match.
yeah.
It's like a gym sparring match.
It was a gigantic promotion for money to make them both $100 million. You know, like, and those of you who thought it was serious and they both took it 100% serious, I don't think they did.
I don't think many people think that, do they?
Didn't
they fly home on the same jet?
Yes.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you can't
But the public did. The public, they put a bunch of money on McGregor. I remember like a bunch of professional bettors made a shit ton of money betting on Mayweather because they knew it was a mismatched fight and it was a promotion and it was a fucking circus act. It was like it was a reality TV show that they did and tried to make it look like it was a serious fight. You get a professional boxer against a professional MMA. You saw him when he's fighting. Like McGregor can box, but not to that level. Not to the level of Mayweather. Yeah, of course. So anyway, I found it interesting. I started thinking, I was like, wonder if Seth did box Mike Tyson. Like, how confident would you be?
It might be the bare knuckle boxing, which I've done before, and he probably I'm probably sure he's done it in the streets or whatever. Yeah. But like I've done it for a promotion. And I feel extremely comfortable fighting bare knuckle. I'd rather be bare knuckle.
Yeah, he wouldn't take that, especially at his age, I think. I mean, it's not even smart for him to take punches in the head at his age.
Mike Tyson question.
It's not smart for me to take.
I throw this in the Michael Vick category.
For $1 million, I'll do anything.
Mike Tyson a rapist?
Yes.
A rapist.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because once you do it, you are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't go.
I think a lot of people forgot about that.
I
did.
Domestic
abuse.
I did.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Everyone saw him in Hangover, and they're like, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird.
People forget.
They do pick and choose.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Vick, worst person in the world. Mike Tyson raped somebody. Yeah, he's all right.
Time will wash away a lot of things.
Not my father's death, Tom. Still scarred by that.
How dare you bring it up?
Still scarred by that.
So anyway, I like the fight industry going more towards like spectacles. I mean, even though it's like the McGregor thing was a little bit absurd, but I like the absurdity.
Why can't you have both? You know what I would watch that they don't do, but I would watch it. You know, like all these weird like trash people that go to like Walmarts and stuff, and then they have scenes and they lose their tempers and they act like just big fat pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Get them together and for money because they need to get something out of it because they need the money. Just have them fight on TV. I would tune into a fight network that's just trash people.
Bum fights?
Yeah.
Well, just like fat old women. Like let's say
but
you
all
have
they
like
do is end up on the
fights.
ground choking.
Yeah,
each
but
other
I would
around.
watch that.
Yeah.
I would
I
watch
would too.
As long as they're in street
Let's
clothes.
tattoo their foreheads.
I would
I'm
watch
in.
two 40-year-old Karens with tramp stamps and dumpy, just their guts all spilling out of their bongos, like slapping each other, pulling each other's fucking titties out.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
watch
in.
the shit out of that.
I'm in.
I mean, like I'd sign up right now. Spectrum, if you're listening, just set it up. I'd add $2.99 a month. I'd do it because the spectacle is just as good to me.
So back to UFC and that world. What's up with Felicia's fight? I know. I saw.
Because UFC's back, baby.
They the last UFC they did without
You're not happy?
spectators.
What's going on?
But I heard a lot of. I didn't watch it myself, but a lot of people.
Would you want to get on an airplane right now?
Were
Jacksonville's right up the road.
a lot
It's not going to be Jacksonville.
where is it?
Well, that's where they've been
I
fighting.
don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Yeah,
don't say anything you're not
mess
supposed to. But
anything
they've been
up.
fighting in
That's not
Jacksonville.
Yeah, they have been, and I was super fucking excited. Like, what? I can just get in my fucking tampon and drive there? Then
Right.
but
Taking the power away.
I'm
it's fun.
I'm going with it.
Yeah, you got to.
But now that it might probably 99.999% isn't not going to be in Jacksonville. I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm there to support Felicia, and I'll do anything. I'll fucking fly across the world for her. But
yeah.
I'm not.
You'd be all right.
You're
gonna think there's a mummy sitting on a plane. No joke. I'm gonna
wrap up.
I'm gonna wrap from head to toe.
In what?
Hazmat
some
suit?
sort of
No, do mummy
cloth-
wrappings. That'll be
mummy
cool.
wrap.
Get
I
toilet
don't know.
paper.
Yeah, we got like we
And
could
probably
see
some
Universal-
plastic bags too.
We could get Mike Aiello, the Universal Studios, to really make you look like the mummy.
As long as if I'm allowed on the plane with it, I'll do it.
So is her fight going to be happening this year?
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
it's scheduled.
Okay.
It's in 2 weeks.
Oh, in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Shit,
the,
I didn't know that.
It's the 6th.
All right.
And you can't
June
tell us
June
the
6th.
location?
All right, let me put
Because
that
they
in
haven't
the
announced. I
calendar.
don't think they announced it to public yet where it's going to be. I
Gotcha.
think they said that the following one's going to be in Vegas, but not hers yet.
Are we having a watch party?
I don't
Is that
think it
allowed?
matters.
Like, how do
to
we
be
do
honest.
that?
It's going to be in Vegas. I'm
You can do
pretty sure.
virtual watch parties.
Yeah.
We
We got to do something because I know we wanted to, but now we got 2 weeks, so we'll just figure something out.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks.
So
The 6th.
We can watch it on a TV in here, and then we can broadcast on Twitch, maybe our reactions or something. I don't know.
what's weird about this whole thing and sports in general, and I know like there's been a bunch of talk about how sports will reopen and what would that look like, and
Yeah, it's
if
crazy.
it'll happen, not happen, or whatever. I'm just interested interested in like how it affects the athletes, therefore how I could gamble on it. Obviously, like not having a preseason, like how important is training camp, and how important is like, if you're like, you'll say Tom Brady and old Gronk and some new players on Tampa Bay, how important it is for them to like have a bunch of productive practices beforehand, and is that going to be possible, and is it going to throw everybody's routine off enough?
I think it will.
To have a noticeable difference, so therefore you can gamble on the edge of like, is this going to be bad for the teams that have new players as opposed to teams that have been together for a long time? Like, there's a lot of interesting stuff.
Stupid as a gambler to not factor in
the
mental problem that the world is going through now.
Yeah.
We like to think that we're all okay, but after talking to like my counselor that like she just opened back up, like after talking to her and being like, there is you would be stupid not to factor that in.
And then you factor in like, are certain teams going to be more affected than others? The New York teams, obviously, the California teams that are more affected than the Florida teams, obviously,
because it's more aggressive in their area.
Yeah,
sure.
It's situational. Yeah. So a lot of interesting theories.
Tampa, Tom Brady's
here.
on the beach with everybody else just partying down. Like DeSantis says, hey, let's rock.
And then in UFC, has this affected Felicia's training schedule at all? I mean, she's had to.
We have a core of 4 or 5 people that she's sticked with this entire time.
You should call it the core 4.
So it's the core 4.
Yeah,
that's
good.
The Fab Five. Wait, that's already.
No, so, but has everybody been doing this? Has her opponent been doing this?
She's from Brazil, probably not.
And let the shit talking begin.
I mean,
I see her Modelo commercial all the time, and every time we see it, the whole house, we boo. Even my daughter, boo.
I mean,
you got to, right?
The last person that got busted, or not busted, tested positive was from Brazil. So it's just a hot spot right now.
Right.
So
and if you're more famous, does that affect you in the fact that you have more eyes on you? So then, therefore, maybe you can't do some certain things that if you are laying low. So like a lot of things I'm trying to work out here and trying to gain an edge. I'm gonna bet on Felicia fight, obviously, but I'm betting on Felicia. I just want to see what the.
She's been busting her ass. I tell you, she's ready. She's been in shape. She was supposed to fight last month, you guys, or this month.
I know.
Right.
Would have been this month.
Yeah. So she was like ready to peak there. So she toned it down for a week and a half, to coincide with extending it a month.
Well, Seth,
that way she doesn't have to maintain that really high level. Because that's depleting.
Killing your body.
Yeah.
Kills your body mentally too, mentally and physically.
A lot of like sports talking heads and stuff, just because they have to fill time, and this happens a lot where you just create a narrative and then you talk about it because you have to do a radio show or some podcast or whatever. And so people talk a lot about the distraction and how much that affects, and I always like put that on the wayside of like, that's bullshit. Like these professionals, they've been doing it so long and so much,
it would just be way down on the list.
Yeah. The distraction factor can't weigh in that much. At least that's my theory.
Well, no, it's an accurate theory, and I'll tell you why. You have to apply to like what we do. I don't care who walks through that door. I don't care if they're on fire, have a monkey on their back, or whatever. I'm going to deliver exactly the same way I'm doing it right now. I'm going to do it.
Because we've been doing it for so long.
Something could be burning out there. Wouldn't even fucking matter. Dude, I'll just keep doing this.
Our relatives have died, and we've been able to do shows. A lot of distractions happen in our personal life. Now, not to equate us with any professional athlete, but...
we're professional podcasters. It's weird to say that, but we are.
You get into this mode where all of a sudden you just turn it on, and everything else...
It's very easy.
I think when you're actually in the arena, in the actual fight, like once that bell rings, you're gonna do
you're
it.
out.
You're gonna do it.
Look, I mean, you're into it.
You're into it, yeah. But for the weeks and weeks and weeks of training, if there's like other things, I know for me anyway, if there's personal things going on, it definitely affected.
Personal question: do you think that you are a more sensitive and hyper aware fighter than most of the guys that got into the octagon?
Yeah, 10,000%.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't feel like the vast majority of your elite fighters, like Seth was able to climb up to, are hypochondriacs.
Yeah.
I actually think they're kind of stupid.
I cry. This sounds gay, but
it's not gay.
But I cried like before my fights. I'll go in a room and like
only gay people cry. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that.
Right, that's our new shirt.
Gay meaning sensitive.
And they're
well, to me, that's what it means. Who are you to interpret how I interpret things? Fucking bullshit.
I
Don't
say
put-
the N-word, and it means something different to me.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you think what it means to you? It means to me.
It means to me. I'll flip it around. Anyway, I get very emotional before every single one of my fights.
Yeah.
Like I'll go and like almost cry. Like sometimes
Yeah, I
did
could
cry
see that. There are
before.
other guys that I think they're
Not because I'm scared. Shut up, asshole. Not because I'm scared.
Just laughing.
It's
Yeah,
just because
little
it's,
baby.
That's number two.
it's because it's such a rush of emotion.
He's
Like,
trying
I've
to
said
get
that
beat
before.
up today. He's trying. Tell Seth what you do for your hobby.
man.
You know what this guy does for his hobby now?
Pee-pop.
Yeah,
No,
he's
what?
growing fruit.
Fruits and vegetables.
What kind of fruit?
He grew me some jalapenos.
Big
and
old
some
eggplants.
serrano peppers.
It's a
Big old
manlier
gay
fruit, I
fruit.
guess.
So now
Cucumbers.
I did hear
Eggplant.
That's good.
some people talk about
It's very phallic.
the last UFC fight they did with no audience. Like
That
someone-
is awesome. I
so-
like that.
Someone was mentioning that the fighters could hear their cornermen a lot better,
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
with no,
Yeah.
and so they.
I
and
loved it.
I would wish
that was an element.
Yeah, when I was on season 2, when we fought in front
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
5 people and then the judges and Dana, and that was it. And that was the best.
It's better,
fight.
right?
Oh, it's so much better.
So for the
And
fighter,
you cut out a lot of the fucking
A
showboating.
lot of the
I love
show-
it.
A lot of the emotion. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this is like another
So
training
it's like
day, and it
real
felt
skill.
Chill. Oh, that honestly, it is more
You
realistic.
can hear
I
the
think.
hits more. I like it
You can
way
hear the
better.
hits. That's cool. You can hear the hits more. But as a
Interesting.
fighter, you're just so much more relaxed because the tension's not at a 10 with all the audience and
Right.
the fans and everything. It's just we're going into sparring and beating each other up like we normally do.
who do you think that gives the edge to as far as like Felicia's fight? Do you think Felicia has a little more of an edge because she's fought in less like arenas full of people than her opponent? Is that even true? I don't even. I don't know.
think that's true. No,
Does
I mean,
does Nunez still have her? Didn't she have an ankle injury?
no.
Somebody put that in the chat, but I didn't
Yeah,
click on it.
I
Hold
saw
on.
that, and then I tried to Google
is
it
it
real
recent? I don't
fast,
think it's
and
recent.
yeah, it's something about an ankle injury. I don't know.
Good thing we've been practicing our ankle kicks.
Well, I'll look it up. I mean, any edge is an edge, right?
Sweep
Yeah,
the leg,
yeah.
Johnny.
Do you do that when you're planning for a fight? If you know that X opponent has a weak left knee, do you kick the shit out of the knee?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
use
you
anything,
go for
right?
where they're hurt. Yeah.
You put him in a body bag.
There. Thank you, Butler. Thank you, Butler.
Get your wax. So besides that, Seth, how's everything been going to you? You pick
What
up
have
any?
you been doing?
No, because before
Hobbies?
when you had your business, I'd call you, and be like, nothing to do. But
yeah.
you'd be like, hey, can you?
now that-
Oh, now I'm working 10 times more now than I did before. I'm literally
Oh,
like,
really?
fuck this. Like, I was writing workouts and stuff like that. I was like, oh, God, I could actually do this. Because when I first opened, I was running all the classes. I was doing
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
workouts,
Yeah,
running the
yeah.
business side. Now, finally, I got to the point where I was like, I can step back and let my guys do it. Hands off.
So you actually during this whole thing, you've been working and trying to.
Our Jungle Fit lady could no longer work with us. So I had to step in. So I taught all the Zoom fitness classes, which is fine because I love doing that. But like literally waking up and knowing that I have to sit for like 45 minutes and like write a workout, I was like, oh, fuck, I really have to do this.
Don't you have any old ones stashed?
God,
You wanna change
when I
all
wake
the
up in the
names?
morning and I know I have to work for 45 minutes, I'm like, oh God!
God, kill me!
I mean, it seems.
if only I could get. If only I could get scratch cancer.
45 minutes.
Careful what you wish for. I just
That's
always.
like,
I need some itchy.
I just
that's
got
more
so
than 220s.
I got so spoiled to literally like having not a demand for me to do any. I can do what I kind of want to do.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I go to the gym anyway, and I'll be a part of it anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
When
I feel
have
like
to do
you
something,
going
I'm
to the
like,
gym is like Kramer going to the office. It's like you go there and then you just fuck with your trainer.
No,
Because I've seen Kramer go to the office and then like we're meeting with one of his attorneys and he's like, well, guys, on this particular contract, and the Kramer's like walks in his office like, look at your dumb books and just pushes them off. And, remember that? He's like
Yeah, yeah.
bullying him
He's
and
taking
he's like,
his
fuck
toys,
you. Yeah,
stabbing his toys.
Yeah, he's stabbing his toys with a sword, knocking his papers on the ground. I feel like you would go to your gym and then like the guy's like, all right, guys, who's ready for Jungle Fit? And you're like, who's ready for Jungle Fit? You know, like you're fucking with him.
No,
and-
but I did go in the background a couple times when.
See, I fucking knew
You
it.
have to disinfect that. I spit all over that. Sorry.
Oh my
I
God. Ruining studio.
Sorry. I did, when they were doing the Zoom class with like the kickbox and stuff like that, I would go like off to the side and like fucking let out a huge blammer like really bad.
A blammer.
Fart.
A blammer.
And then like the person sitting at the desk would turn around and be like, And
doing
then
a soup class, and you're like, I'm sorry, I got a blam. I got a blammer story.
Blammer, not
Do you have a
normal.
blam, bro?
I say
Yeah.
Blammer.
What the fuck, man? It's everybody blams. Everybody blams, man.
So that was kind of like a weekly thing. What the fuck? Well, is Blammer not a thing?
I love it.
My business is trying to do a professional action. I'm gonna blam.
You want to get blam, bro? Jungle Fence, blam.
We offer the safest mask and environment with 100% blam.
It's disinfected with my Blammer.
Use our washing station, and then I'll come over and I'll blam in your face, bro. Blam! Just call me Jean-Claude Van Blamme.
Oh, no. I honestly thought that was a thing.
What was the thing?
Blammer.
Butler's scared. By the way, Butler's like
Terrified.
By the way, if you have to blam on Butler on camera.
Seth goes, I thought blam was a thing, and Butler goes, no.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Very matter of fact.
Definitely not. There's no such thing as that.
Don't we get a blam plug in that bag?
Oh, we got
Should we open it up? We
You
said.
want to unbox
Well,
it?
I mean, hey, okay, we could do, here's what I would say.
Okay.
Let's do our shot.
All right.
Okay.
Let's stay on task, because I know Sam gets crazy. When we go way off the rail, okay, we'll do our shot. We'll do our toast. Then we'll take our break. Then when we come back, unboxing with Butler and Blammer.
Yeah.
Butler and Blammer.
Yeah. And Seth's got some news. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, and you told me we have to. Is an update on the fish cam?
Oh yeah.
That's on the list.
I talked to Top Shelf
Because the
Aquatics.
listeners have had it. There's a really nice guy, seriously, in the
Yeah.
studio or in the chat room named Les, and he popped in and he's like, hey, just not for nothing, but every time I pop in here, guys, it's just the coral. And and I'm like, I know, and he's like, I just need to know your schedule better, and then I'm like, it's fine, like we're trying, like we're doing our best, but it's very complicated.
You had to acclimate the salt water
it's
to
such
be
a
able
pain
to
in the ass,
get
man.
to the fish, and now we.
And apparently Butler and I messed it up because we were out there spraying cologne and we sprayed it into the tank and it foamed up, killed everything in there.
It smelled so good though.
Yeah, it did smell good.
Yeah, apparently some like aerosol or some cleaning supplies like misted into the top, and then it created some slime in the bottom, and then so.
And our Jamaican guy was Sean was pissed.
He's like, has someone been spraying some aerosol? And they're like, I don't know. Like, so it is.
Seth just let out a Blammer. That's all I know.
God damn it, you blammed the tank.
Fucking blammed all the fish together.
my Blam particles landed on the tank.
God blam it.
But apparently all the chemicals are right, and
Yeah, we're good.
they started sending me a list of fish that we'll start off with, and we'll pick some out. And,
By the way,
get them in there.
Get some clownfish.
I want.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to, and I got to give him some love from Top Shelf Aquatics, Sean, our tech. He's the nicest guy, and he's so full of knowledge, and he's so sweet. And me and Andrea were here at the end of the day. She'd come over here because they were doing some cleaning at our house, and per new rules, you give people space when they're doing things. So she's over here, and we're talking to Sean, and he says, he goes to leave, and we go to I go to shake hands or whatever, and he goes and he's like fist bump, so we fist bump, and I'm like, that's where we are now, and he's like, nah, man, I'm from Jamaica. We don't shake hands. You guys are weird. All we do is fist bump. Then I looked.
I did not know that.
And then I looked up the deaths of COVID in Jamaica, and it's only 9 people. I'm like, you would think impoverished area a lot more deaths, but hey, man,
There would have been less if they did the X bump.
I like the X bump, but I'm okay with bumping. So, all right, let's stay on task. You want to do shot?
Shot. Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
What, we got
Butler.
tequila?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tequila.
Lowers your immune system, guys.
Cheers to the hailstorms that just hit. Receiving Fairvilla butt plugs for a bit. The jungle almost made me tap out and quit. And Jen finally bought the building. She's the fucking shit. Congrats, Doc. 90210.
Does she listen to this?
Congrats.
If she listened, Butler wouldn't work
That's
anymore.
true. You're right. I don't even know why I asked that.
I was thinking about that Fairvilla bit we did. I'm like, I don't know if
Tastes like metal.
Butler's wife would be cool. We're just making fun of his sex life.
I'm virtually certain that when he leaves and she slides his lunch over to him, there's a Post-it note on it that says, "Good luck at the insurance office today." And he just takes the Post-it note off and folds it and puts it in his pocket and then drives away. Right? It's pretty close to that.
I'm still a beer up.
That's what I thought. All right. We got good music today. I've played these guys before. They're called Tijuana Panthers. The name of the song is called Phone Girl. It's fun. It's kind of like lo-fi, punky, rocky type of a deal. 1-844-TOMNDAN or show at tomanddan.com for email. That is Remo Drive, Star Worship, from their album, A Portrait of an Ugly Man. Welcome back to Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is opening. What do you got there?
Clementine Claw.
Can I just talk about just when I thought White Claw couldn't get any better? And I know, I've been really hitting the old...
the White Claw 70s?
No, I've been hitting the craft beer too hard.
Oh, yeah.
And it's showing a little bit. I gained a little COVID weight. Not much, 4 pounds or so.
COVID 19 pounds.
Yeah, no. God damn, never again. Because I've still been exercising like crazy. But these 70s are dope, man. These are great.
Yeah, they are.
I think that's the perfect, because it's less calories, less alcohol. The key is less of everything, less of an addiction, less bad, less falling asleep in front of your wife on the couch, less of her trying to wake you up, less of you not going upstairs, less of you sleeping there all night, and then you wake up, and then less of her yelling at you.
When I sit down to have a couple White Claws on ice,
What's your go-to
nightly
flavor?
Well, I kind of switched to the 70s just because I was like, well, if I have a couple 70s, better than a couple.
What's your favorite? Lemon?
The Clementine. I've been buying. If I buy a variety pack, I get the yellow variety pack. That's what I call it.
It's the party pack number 2.
Party pack number two.
Number 2.
Just because I've had so much of the number
Tracy
1.
Tracy would kill you if you said that.
The watermelon's my favorite.
You can't be
interesting.
as much of a hypochondriac as I am, then, man.
I'm
Like
not.
I am so nervous about. Oh, okay. Never mind.
No. We've had this discussion.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It seems
I'm
like
not.
you being.
I'm so paranoid to even drink right now. Like I don't want to drink
Why?
because
I
I
thought
know
you didn't drink anyway.
Because I know I don't, but I've been wanting to drink so, but like
okay.
it's been like a couple
But
months.
you
where
eat
I need to
ass.
get that raises it.
No,
Hold on.
His logic.
I don't because
know what you
alcohol
gotta
100% lowers your immune system.
You know what you got to
so I've
do, and
only
you have
drank
to send me a video of this. You have to pour a White Claw 70 in your girlfriend's butthole. And
She's
then,
listening right
and
now.
then drink it out of it.
Hold on, Seth. You're a man of science. Yes, you're
Just
right.
a frog over me and go
Alcohol.
Oh man.
like a funnel.
Yeah, that's called that's called an Alabama Blammer. It's a shot.
Believe me, I have no idea, but yeah, you're right. It does lower your immune system, but for how long? Like for when you're drinking it, when you're drunk?
I don't
the
know.
next
I feel
day?
I'm
pretty
assuming
awesome
for 24
with it.
hours. Definitely. Even after you're sober, it's still running through your system.
How
the
could this be
alcohol.
lowering
how
my
much?
immune system when I feel bulletproof? I don't believe fake news. Fake news. Open up America.
See, you don't know what to believe.
An eagle needs to tear the talons of justice open, and then America, we are strong, we're long, and we're strong, and we're down to get the friction off.
Yes, we are.
But Seth, you're healthy in all other terms too. So that one thing, we're all like,
It'd be
Maybe-
your
we're
only. It'd be
we're
your
the peak.
only thing.
No, because I started smoking a little bit too. So then now I heard I read articles on even just a little bit of smoke can hurt your chances of recovering.
Fuck off.
I'm just saying. That's,
I read an article that said marijuana helps
you,
you.
yeah.
I heard that too. You just don't know what to believe.
Nothing's real.
I read an
Why don't
article.
you eat the marijuana? Don't smoke
Yeah,
it.
why don't you eat
Yeah.
it?
Or
Bad-
vape it.
Bad times with that. Yeah.
No, you got to go lower doses.
Yeah, man.
I can't.
Dude,
do
True Leaf has high CBD.
that. I gotta go.
That's why I like Seth so
I'm on the
much.
internet.
That's why I like him, because he's like, look, if I'm gonna do it, I need to be really fucked up.
You'd be banging my head against a mirror. That's what happened last time I ate some.
Jesus Christ.
You're banging your head against a mirror.
Yeah, I wanted the thought of me or the visual of me as a little kid to go away. So I was banging.
Jesus.
You were hallucinating?
Yeah, I had to have been hallucinating because I thought I was a little kid.
Dude, what the fuck did you
What the
take?
fuck did you eat?
You're on
I think I
LSD,
told
bro.
you this. I think I ate like did I do a whole ounce? But I ate like I think I cooked a whole ounce and then ate like 3/4 of the brownies or something like
You
that.
probably have way too.
God damn.
I don't know. I think you had something else mixed in there.
No, but he's sensitive.
Fucking crazy.
I'm very sensitive, bro.
Yeah. Travis, you're talking about a guy that doesn't, Travis is 800 milligrams a week. With Seth, the dude, if he does 50 milligrams, he'll have a freak out. That's probably what he did.
We should all do those 50 milligrams here and do another high BDM cast with Seth.
The problem is if he freaks out and start banging his head.
Kill us all.
The only thing I'll do is I'll be like, guys,
mass murder on Twitch.
I'll just have to get out here and be like, I gotta go for a walk. And I'll just go outside.
No, we won't let you.
Oh,
we'll hold you down. We'll all hold you down.
Then he'll fucking rip this mic off easily and blame it up your ass.
We couldn't.
I gotta bring my mace with me that day.
No, that's when I go. That's when I go.
Rhino trank gun.
No, that's when I go.
No,
blow dart him.
I'll hold Butler down, rip his pants off, and butt fuck him.
Oh my god!
Well, that I want to see.
Yeah,
we'll watch that.
We can't put that on Twitch.
This
though.
escalated quickly.
I'm like, is Angel Jackie?
That was the first thought that entered my head. I don't know why.
Can you put on a mask?
All right.
With a hole for your tongue.
Put the mask on his butt. So
protect from the blamers.
So yesterday, and this ACT
Jesus.
will come out on Tuesday of next week if you want to hear.
Yeah.
But Fairvilla is doing this new curbside system where you could actually call in and someone from Fairvilla will shop for you. A professional will basically, you let them know what you're looking for and they'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And from your car, they'll literally let you know, here, I'm looking for this. They'll be like, all right, this is a good product. This, they're professionals. They know.
They're
And then-
streamlining sort of the shopping process. It's like personal shopping.
Yeah, and then they'll, you can pay over the phone, and they'll just deliver it to your car, and that's it, and you drive away. So we tried it with Travis yesterday.
You forgot his name, didn't you?
Sales baby.
I do that all the time too. I do that all the time too.
And
Just you get to think travesty, Travis.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It's mean. That's really mean. I'm sorry.
I said just
poor Butler.
Seth's like, I can't tell if this is real.
Yeah, I know.
My go-to is Butthead Butler. So
more juvenile.
I
You
go
don't
more
deserve
Biff.
this. You don't deserve this.
So
I'm the middle child born on April Fool's Day.
You're a nice guy too. You don't deserve it.
So
Oh, you're the middle kid too? That's right.
He
Damn.
absolutely deserves it. There's nothing about Travis that makes you think he doesn't deserve it. So
the way he acted on that bike ride tells you all you need to know.
No, he's a
Listen
child.
to the BDM show.
Yeah, the medium bike ride.
Oh
I
my
listened to
God.
it this morning. It's so fucking good.
okay.
Yeah, don't
I don't
spoil
want
it.
to
Don't
spoil
spoil
it.
anything.
If you're not a BDM, sign up. It's really funny.
We rented a Surrey bike and
We
Chaos.
rode around the
oh my
lake
God.
on the bike yesterday.
Oh, really?
3 miles.
Yeah, and it was a fucking.
Well, I pedaled around the lake while everyone else rode
was a
around
disaster.
Travis, he hung a gigantic.
Don't talk about
okay,
it.
Yeah,
sorry.
don't
Just
don't
got
spoil
Ripped
it.
Sign
off.
up
There's a
or
guy in a
listen.
wheelchair. Anyway, so
Ran over a kid.
So Fairvilla boxed every. Now I thought you were leaving because you're like, hey, do I leave or do I stay? What do I? And I'm like, I don't know. Bye bye.
Who is this? Goodbye.
I do like every
Where
radio
are you?
show
Are you in the
host
car? I'm in the car. Are you
Put
in
me
the car?
on the
I'm in
do
the
not
car.
call list. Thank you.
where after the bit is over, once you send your interns out, then once the day is done, you're off the air. You just leave
Yeah.
with zero regard of
And
what
what do you
happened.
do? And what do you do? And I learned this firsthand. You go and you get on your boat with your wife or girlfriend, like every good radio host does. I've been abused by more radio hosts that have boats that make you do work, and then they go out on their boats and say, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I'm still in the dealership, or I'm still in fucking Eatonville, or I'm still into wherever the God knows I'm still at the rodeo, and then the show's over, and I'm still there with the fucking bulls, and then everybody around me is like, "Oh, what are we doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Do you think any of this shit is planned out? This is a fucking ramshackle operation." Anyway,
Ramshackle.
so I like to run this like that as well, and then Travis
Well,
like,
it's all you
we
know.
like doing.
Which drives me insane.
Well, it's all you,
Yeah,
it's all
I
you
know.
know. It's all you know.
Well, that's why I needed you to keep it together.
Yeah, I like organization.
You're gonna be the
too. That would
death of
drive
me, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Your name is Pam Shackle.
And then you'll eventually be like, I've had it. And I'll be, I'll pay you a little more, and then you'll stay for a little.
No, no,
That's
no.
how it works.
But that just makes the anger more. It's like
I'll do it
anger,
for Sam's
then
price.
money,
Soon as
then
I have
anger,
money.
then money,
Yeah.
then anger, then money, then anger, then money.
Then the doors are chained. That's when you'll know.
Okay. All right.
So Travis like, am I gonna get the stuff? Do I stay? I'm like, I don't know. Bye bye. And then
Right?
he got the stuff, which I guess you stayed
got the
there.
goods.
No,
Well, wait a
I
minute.
ended up like leaving. I had to go visit
Oh.
another client, and so I went to go visit another client, and then they emailed me. They're like, where'd you go? You got your bag. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm still in the area. Let me turn back around and drove back to iDrive.
Oh, yeah,
And Kara helped me out over there.
All right.
So they gave you
Shout
the stuff.
out to Fairvilla iDrive, Kara.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to her.
And I'm interested to see what they put in the bag because it was, we were telling her all types of bullshit.
Right.
And then she's trying to play along.
Man,
she's
I
like,
really hope there's some fishing porn in there.
You guys, what are you guys doing with this after?
Well, here.
I don't know.
Okay,
Butler's
off.
taking it home.
Oh no, this is my pay for the day.
I
We'll
have
pay
the
you in butt
camera.
plugs.
I have the camera
Pay
on
you in
both of
butt
them so that you can
I'll
see
take a
the
butt
bag. But hey, you got to be real careful what you take out of there.
Yeah.
just look in there
Anything
before.
phallic can't really show.
It's
Right?
all,
This
hope-
is from-
hope it's all disinfected.
This is curbside shopping at Fairvilla Megastore.
So,
What the fuck is this?
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put the
Okay,
camera on.
I can put this. I can,
Oh, you can do this?
What
This
is
is
that?
safe.
Oh, those are the magnets, right?
These are magnetic clamp power pins.
He's got a magnetic nipple plant. Wow, I can't
This
even say it.
picture does
Magnetic
not look pleasant.
nipple clamps.
This picture on the back of this. Take a look at that.
Let's try it out.
Yeah.
That's a rough.
Let me see.
Is that for you or her?
I've seen Travis's nipples. They're
This,
long.
this
They're
looks
big.
extremely
They're long,
painful.
like an old lady's cigarette.
Are we gonna go
ash.
full '90s radio and make Butler put these on
Yeah,
now?
oh yeah, and they look.
I
His
put it on-
nipples look
I
like
wanna put it on
two like Fidel Castro's pinkies.
Yeah.
long and brown.
Long and brown. Okay, hold on.
This cannot go on camera.
Oh wait, okay,
It doesn't
can't go on
look-
camera.
It doesn't look
I'll
pleasant at
switch
all.
to Seth. So just keep it out of Seth's camera view.
I'm just gonna leave it in the bag for right now. Actually, it's on Seth. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pull
it's
it
on
out.
Seth.
Okay, so this is a silicone
Whoa!
spark plug.
Holy shit!
Large.
It's
I
a
think
large. It's a
Large.
large.
You don't need a large.
Well, you guys did
large.
tell him he
Told
had
him.
a tuna can asshole.
Oh yeah, I did say it.
This
Did you
fucking
edit
thing
that
looks
out?
like it's made out of carbon fiber.
I edited out butthole. Yeah.
Wow, that's a big plug.
That's a big boy.
Holy
Do people use that?
You can't put that on.
Let me
on
see
Twitch?
that.
That's bigger than the big.
I want to
doo-doo
stand
I've
at the
ever-
register and,
That's like a thermos.
and get the number to anyone who
On
buys
the
that.
back of this plug will get you rived up. This plug is perfect for the extreme pleasure seekers. Made for premium grade silicone. Is also tapered for effortless insertion.
Yeah.
What would you
very
guys
effortless,
give me?
my ass.
What would you guys give me if I went into the bathroom right now and
good.
put that in my
You're
butt?
gonna need some lube, man.
You can't even.
I think I can do it.
I don't think so.
I think I can do it.
I think one time I pooped that big and like, and I couldn't walk for like a week. I think it was a cheat meal day.
This is bigger than a Shure mic.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
one of the
yeah. Here,
microphones.
let me see
That
Jesus.
is. I don't even think that. I'm.
That's a blamer.
Yes, this is a goddamn Blammer right here.
that-
Wow.
That seems
Large.
impossible for a human to put in their butt.
Dude,
right?
girls have like both hands in there, like this type. Of
I
shit.
know.
There's
Yeah.
no-
Yeah, that's-
that's
I-
insane to
But
me.
I always think that that's like they're
That's too
hurting
much.
themselves, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you might need a diaper after putting that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
I
That,
think I could do that.
you
I like the way it looks. Like.
Yeah, you guys are like, I feel like you guys are being a little conservative.
All right, well then, I don't think you're gonna want this
I
next
would
one.
100%.
I think I could.
I didn't know.
think- I mean, I've never done any of that.
I
Like,
guess I'm more considered the DeSantos of butt plugs.
That's a perfect.
Can we not put that
You
on
got
Twitch?
the- That's a
I
Cuomo.
want no. Okay.
What if I put it
I
as
want
a
people to see the size
That's
of
a
this
big
thing.
old Cuomo.
I mean, like
right
here,
there.
I'll show you.
guys, put it as a hood ornament on my car and you can show it.
Dude.
Well, this one looks
I'll
like
get
it.
it
Let's do
permanently
it.
installed perfectly.
Well, this one, if that one is perfect for you, Dan, this one will be a little small for you. This one looks like an Atari joystick.
That looks like a finger, a
yeah,
big thick
it's
finger.
it's called the Eclipse. It looks like it's for the art of anal pleasure.
The
Okay.
Eclipse.
This is the Rockin' Pro, bro. It's the Rockin'
It's the
Pro.
Rockin'
a
Pro.
lot of butt stuff you guys got.
Eclipse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Well,
that's what I told.
You guys are all
I-
about butt stuff.
I felt really bad because my wife's like, "What did you do today?" And I go, "Well, we, just normal stuff. We did the show." And Andrea's like, "Yeah, I jumped in when you were asking the lady from Fairvilla, what do you
Ooh.
have for a gentleman with a large
cool.
butthole?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I did say that. Yeah."
I have no idea if any of that could actually be aired.
I
but,
mean, this is like
will be.
hundreds of dollars of
love
garbage. that I feel really bad.
Well, this
mean,
this silicone spark plug is
It's beautiful.
I feel like this thing is a expensive item here.
Me and
Oh
Butler.
yeah!
Me and
Wow.
Yeah,
Butler-
don't tell the price
show
on
the
that.
back
Me
of
and
the
Butler
box.
straight up looking at porn
Just-
right now.
No, show the back of the box on camera
yeah, you
because
can
it's
show
as big as the box.
Yeah, it's as big as
Yeah.
it's the exact size of the box.
Yeah, imagine
Right.
that. Look at my head.
Oh Lord! It's
Just
like
around
putting
it.
Tom's head in your butthole.
Yeah.
I'll put this out here. Too.
So, you got.
then
we
we
asked
got,
for the knot.
How to be
book.
naughty. This is the essential guide to the modern rope bondage.
That's a
Seth,
thick
by
book.
Morpheus. This
How,
is a very
uh,
thick
how
book.
By
Crazy.
Morpheus, he's the guy that's really into rope tying, right? Is that what it says? By Morpheus?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the guy. Like this guy Morpheus writes all these books. He's like got like hundreds of knot books on how to tie up people.
tie my boobs with a red knot. That'll teach you.
I want you to tie my titties so tight with a rope that they fall off like a skin tag.
Interesting. Like his dedication's for my beloved wife who believes in me, the dreamer.
That's awesome.
And now, let me tie him red.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a poop fly in
You
here.
know,
What
maybe
happened?
better if he dedicated.
I think
to
it
his,
came
like,
out of the bag.
His late
His
wife.
daughter,
Or
or his daughter. Or
I
something
dedicate
sick
this
like
to
that.
my daughter.
So
I know you're 5 now, but
And then honestly, we're gonna need
Yo.
this if you're using any of those other toys. This is some natural lube.
Is it a edible lube?
I mean, you can. I'm sure you can probably eat it if you want to, but
I don't.
Well, not all of it is edible.
It might not be
Hey,
want to. It
hey,
might not
guys,
be. It
hey,
might be a
guys.
have to situation.
hey guys,
Yeah.
Butler's horny because he's talking like that. Butler's like, this is the lube that you use.
you want me to put this on my dick?
I've not used lube in like forever. Like I use lube. Like
Yeah, because you
18,
sleep
19.
with teens and they're not dry. When you get to see it with me, it's like sleeping with a goddamn sandpaper.
He's over there spraying alcohol on it, drying it out.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, he's like,
too
it's
wet.
Sometimes it's too wet where it's like you can't feel anything. It's like
Yeah, I said that to my wife.
You're Brandon Fraser fighting the sand mummy. You gotta
The Scorpion King. I'm whacking the Scorpion King. All I want to do is eat some pussy and scorpions everywhere. I'm like, God
you're with
damn
younger
it, with
ladies,
you
they're-
scarab beetles everywhere.
she's like, I'm wet eating Qdoba.
Yeah. When are we gonna have a Qdoba party?
We
That's
will.
the
It's
question.
still
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
essentially, only
Stand by.
3.5 things I could use here.
Yeah. So, Seth,
Yeah.
we know that you're more adventurous than a lot of people, but have you ever, dove into the knot play or the something a little more extreme?
Velcro handcuffs, tie 'em up.
Sex swing.
Sex. I feel bad 'cause my girlfriend's listening right now, but
Oh,
in the past, yes, I do have a sex swing.
Oh, okay.
Has
It's
she
in my
been in
garage.
the set?
Is
sex
it
No, 'cause I have to
ceiling
install it.
mounted?
It's ceiling mounted
Yeah,
sex
okay.
swing.
in the garage? That's good.
Well,
Very
that's
good.
where it is now. It wasn't my bedroom in my old house. But,
You gotta hang some eye hooks and get that
Yeah, you gotta
baby
get that thing
operation.
moving.
yeah.
If she's listening right now,
It's kind of overrated to be honest. It was just so.
Is it?
It's just such a. It's a deal to get in. Like it's like
Let me
you
ask-
kind of lose the sexiness of it. Like put your foot here. Oh, it's like very
Yeah,
awkward.
yeah.
It's like
It's a lot of
that.
steps.
Yeah.
I imagine then
It's way better if they're almost really drunk and almost passed out. I'm just joking.
I knew you were going to say something terrible, but
get her in the swing.
Who are you yelling that to?
Just imagine.
at that point, she's just a marionette.
Yeah.
It's like, no strings attached.
like in sync.
Have you, Seth? I've seen
Jesus.
in some movies.
Butler's trying to pinch his own nipples with the stupid clamp.
You want to do it? Here, get me.
It doesn't work.
I don't think
You
we
gotta do it on your
Butler.
skin.
we
Butler,
can't
get
show
it.
that on the.
Can't do nipples.
He's not on there yet.
I'm not on camera.
Oh, okay, yeah. Can
You got to do it skin to skin. It's not going to go through the cloth.
Oh,
Here,
God.
hold your
Butler
shirt up. Hold your
said,
shirt up.
pinching his nipples now.
Oh, they're hairy.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God. Oh, my God. And I saw his Portuguese water monster tattoo. Whatever it is.
It looks like two sorry pieces.
Does it hurt like hell?
Yeah, they just give me breast cancer.
I never understood about the pain part. I don't want that.
I don't need that.
Like the
A
people
little
that-
bit on the nipples is kind of.
I don't want sex to feel like I'm flossing my teeth. Blood everywhere. This is a nightmare.
I never understood the pleasure and pain thing. It just,
Damn.
No, I'm all about the pleasure.
Yeah.
Not much on the pain.
How do magnets work?
You don't get smack some asses?
I
mean, I'll spank a little, like a little love
yeah.
tap, but I'm not gonna get some red marks and hurt anybody.
Yeah. And I feel
I'm
like
a gentle lover.
there's some people that like pain.
Choking action?
No, never choke.
What?
See, Seth, they're vanilla as fuck.
That's the best. Choking and hair pulling and scratching and biting.
Ooh, not scratching.
it's
Mm-mm.
too
Well,
much.
okay, no, like hardcore-
choking.
like
Like,
hard- like
is she
deep-
choking you or are you choking?
Both at the same time. Bro.
Yeah,
Let's have
yeah.
sex. Choke the shit.
You ever held your breath as you were about to like come? It's the same, essentially the same thing. You just cut the blood flow.
I'm overweight, so yes.
Dude, I have to. That's how Kill Bill died.
Not by choice.
It's like tying my shoes.
I think you know the answer to that. That is offensive, sir.
It's like
It enhances the feeling.
I've heard that, but how much? Like, what are we talking about? 5%,
Yeah, this guy's a
10%?
percentage
Enough
guy.
to not care if I have a stroke or not after it's happening.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, because here's the thing. I mean, David Carradine died from this, so there must be something. Like this man gave his life for the pleasure of that, so it has to be something,
Well,
right?
so didn't Michael Hutchins from In Excess?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was the same thing.
So
This
people,
happens, man.
So if
Caught in the closet.
so,
yeah,
it's like
hanging himself.
Well, that's extreme.
it's like
doing that.
free solo. It's like these guys are willing to risk their life. There has to be something to it.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I'm curious about. But then it seems like the lack of airflow
There's gotta be like a treasure chest full of drugs at the
have
end.
It's
Crystal
not
try it out
airflow.
on
It's
you.
lack of blood flow. that does it.
oxygen to your brain. It
Yeah.
enhances the
Yes.
feeling.
Yeah,
but for
yeah.
what reason?
Hell, if I don't know the science behind it, no, it fucking feels
Just
good.
feels good.
It's got to be like almost like the same sensation of doing like a whip it or something, you know, where you kind
A
of
whip it
cut
with an
off
orgasm.
Yeah, whip it with an orgasm because that same
Yes.
thing, it cuts off the oxygen in your
But
throat.
you're
and
not.
that
You can't
euphoric
order
feeling.
a whip it with an orgasm. You're not a Planet Smoothie. Yeah, can I get a whip it, get an energy blast, and two give me a? No, it's not.
But how great of a life would it be?
Yeah, you're right.
You know, like
Your camera's back on, by the way, just in case you want to whip
Lack
that
of
thing
oxygen creates euphoria. That's
Okay.
what Tuna Daddy says.
So, like when you were in middle school
I
and,
bet it does.
your friends used to make you pass out from holding your neck or whatever, and then you wake up and you have that burst of euphoria.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get the euphoria mixed with the orgasm euphoria, and it's double euphoria? Is
Yes,
that
double
guess so.
euphoria, double the fun.
All right.
It's a us
Double the
for ya.
choking fun.
Have Crystal try it out on you tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting
Or
frogged
just-
tonight.
Getting frogged,
you
you
get
get
choked
choked.
tonight.
Or you don't
But
have to
the
get
only
choked.
problem is that his could end the show.
Tom, you don't have to
Nah.
get choked. You can actually just do it by yourself, not even say anything.
No, see, that might be unsafe
and just
because
hold your breath
Dude, you
and
put
just push pressure to your head as you're about to
if
go.
you put that spark
and
in
it'll do
your,
the same thing.
spark in your
it'll
butt will
be
come
Does it
something.
make more come out?
No, that's the Kegel flexing. I'm talking about just holding and like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I like
guess
to-
you're holding and pressing your breath like so it feels like
My
the
new
pressure's
thing
going.
now.
Almost like you're trying to push a fart, but fart can't come. out.
Okay, this is a
I'll explain it
serious.
so you can understand.
This is weird that Seth's teaching Tom how to come.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell us more.
I have a serious question for the men. Well, and Sam, you can
Okay.
answer as well.
Okay.
You know, if you're comfortable talking about your hubby. But I have a serious question for you guys about finishing. When you finish and you're in and you're not using a condom, Butler, that may eliminate you.
No, I have before once.
He
one-
remembers
one
back
time
in
ago.
the
When
day.
you, when
When I was
you
a young lad.
go,
40 years
how
old.
long do you allow yourself to release before she hops up and goes and gets on the potty?
I've gone flaccid before.
Too long.
Well, you're fired again. You've been fired every show.
You're in the bathroom too long. What are you doing in there? Like, you're coming in there.
Limp noodle
Yeah, no.
Then
just- it just kinda-
and then it just kind of falls,
wiggles out.
mine falls out
mine-
like an old dog
Mine does that.
turd.
Mine does that, dude. Mine does
see?
that. Mine does
Jesus,
that.
man.
That's too long. You're staying in there too
No,
long.
like because
Oh,
like,
we wanna relax.
lately I've
Don't
been
relax.
How long are you relaxing?
lately I've been
You're not on a couch.
It goes limp after like 30 seconds or so, maybe a minute.
Wait a second, that's way too long.
Lately, I've been leaving it in longer to try and get more out. Because the idea is more in her, less in my boxers.
Boxers? You have boxers? You put them
Well,
on
I
around-
pull them back up
You
afterwards.
do? What are they down by your ankles the whole time?
I get them. They're on the floor.
No, you walk into your bathroom naked.
No, they're on the floor.
Yeah.
I walk into the bathroom naked. I usually get a washcloth. This time, Andrew is doing towels, so I had to use one of Macy's. So I'm putting my hand in one of these fucking washcloths.
Oh, no, don't use
So
your
I'm wiping,
daughter's
I'm wiping my
washcloth.
dick off with Elmo.
No.
You gotta get
Yeah,
wet. You gotta
it's
get
a
wet
puppet
wipes.
too. Is you can move these fingers. He's like,
Tickle me, Elmo.
I mean, as soon as I'm done, my eyes get real wide. I'm right in my wife's face, and I'm like, I should not have come here.
Literally. Hey.
And then immediately, I try to will my mind like I'm somewhere else.
I do that, but I'm like, and I look at her. And I'm like, no, I'm being serious with you guys. You can proceed to laugh, make fun of me, whatever. I'm just gonna act out the ending of every every sex encounter I've had with my wife. In, okay, and I'm coming. I'm like, yay! I say yay.
You say
after.
yay?
No.
Yeah, I do. I don't know why I do that,
awkward.
but that's what I feel like doing. Or I'll go, thank you.
Honestly, most of the time it's laughing at my dog sitting on our bed looking at us the whole time. Like,
your fucking
my
dog
Rocky
off
was
the
staring
bed.
us the whole
Yeah, I
time.
kick
So-
Caesar off. I draw a line.
Sometimes I do,
so-
but then I get, then I feel bad by kicking me in the face. I just let him watch.
Well, you don't have to kick
my
them.
I figure he doesn't get much.
No, you just gently push them off the bed, and then they go.
We're gonna watch. That seems like the right channel.
Fucking weird.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
You want to do some new?
Yeah, let's do it. We haven't done this in a while.
99 MRIs trying to prove he's gonna die. The CTE is kicking in with every new hit at the gym. He laid out Kimbo with an attack, but the Russian won't call him back. And we all forgot about that fight. Just more proof alone you're gonna die. From fighting in the UFC to reading news to you and me, you could say he wears a lot of hats, but we'll just focus on his eyes. So hippo people, get on your hooves and put them together for you know who. As if you narcs don't have a clue, it's Seth Petrozelli with your douchebro news. It's Seth Petrozelli with your douchebro news. Narps.
News today brought to you by My Kramer Law Firm, onefirmforlife.com. If you're going to get divorce or any legal problems,
Or if
contact
your husband might be leaving it in too long and letting it go flaccid and you want a divorce.
They do all virtual meetings and everything, so you can contact them and take care of any legal problem.
Onebirdforlife.com.
It might be male on male. I'm not sure. Look at him. He's freaking out over here.
Yeah, right, buddy?
He lost his news.
I literally just had it here sitting here the whole time.
You're a bad liar.
You exited out
I swear to
everything.
God, I exited. I have no idea where the hell it went.
Was he German?
An idea of
There was a guy that we had in here,
guy was
I
gonna
want to
die,
say
you're gonna laugh.
3 years ago,
Yeah.
who did the old, like, that's my phone here. This investment I've made,
No.
I think I just made $3,000. This never happens. You guys should totally invest with me.
yeah.
That's what I'm
It was
saying.
an awkward.
Oh,
You found it?
I deleted it, and then I went to recently delete it. I got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Save the day. Seth, save the day.
We also ruined it.
Yeah,
right.
It doesn't count.
You ruined it and saved it. We're back to even.
Yeah.
God, what I'm an idiot. Okay, so, wait, is this the right news?
Oh, no.
What other news are you doing?
This is from March 13th.
No, yeah, this is old news.
That was his last time. You didn't prepare.
I did. Oh, here it is.
No.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Back good.
Okay. So I wanted to do with a little some help from Tom. He's like, you know what? There's been some, everything's been negative lately, so why not have some good
Positive news.
positive news?
Yeah,
right?
like old John Krasinski is doing happy news.
Still don't
or
like
whatever.
that guy.
He's no Jim.
So when I was little, I used to love. Do you guys like the Muppets? I used to love the Muppets.
Like
I
the
still
Muppets
love
a
the
lot.
Muppets.
I'm
Yeah,
a Jim
me too.
Henson fan. Yeah.
Yeah, big Jim Henson fan.
It's
So-
super
and-
The
creative.
cartoon or the actual?
It's not a
Muppet?
cartoon.
No,
Oh, there was
the
a
puppets.
Muppet.
The
Oh,
actual
Muppet
puppet.
Babies?
The puppets
Oh,
came
that-
first, and
yeah.
then it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
Cartoon,
just
yeah.
think about it. Muppets, I mean, obviously, it's a puppet, right?
Yeah.
Because he put an M on puppet.
Ah.
I'm just saying.
How many Muppet movies has there been?
Lots.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
Oh, there's.
There's
I gotta
three,
list
right?
them all here. There's
Four?
There's a bunch of them on here. Let's see what we got. The Muppet movie, the Muppet Christmas Carol, Muppet Treasure Island,
There's
as
10.
well.
Oh,
Muppet
Jesus.
Show. Muppets Take Manhattan. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch.
Muppets in Space.
Muppets in Space. Muppets Take Manhattan was definitely my favorite.
There's a little nostalgia, though, involved, right? Because,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you watch it, it's not like it's hilarious or groundbreaking comedy.
I don't
or-
know, man. It's pretty fucking
Some
funny.
of it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, the old stuff, does it still hold up?
I think so. Even the show at Disney, like, I think it's really funny.
And then it goes dark too. You got Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, all these other.
That's right.
Yeah,
Jim
yeah.
Henson was freaking awesome. Okay, so with all those, we are getting a new Muppet Show that premieres this summer. Muppets Now is what it's called. Is an unscripted series that shows Kermit and the gang like never before. Which that kind of like I was like never before. What are inserting butt plugs and stuff. According to Disney, in the 6-episode season, Scooter rushes to make his delivery deadlines and upload the brand new Muppet series for streaming. They are due now, and he'll need to navigate whatever obstacles, distractions, and complications the rest of the Muppet gang throws at him. There will be surprising guest stars and more frogs, pigs, and bears and whatevers than legally allowed.
This is kind of cool. So it's going to be improv.
I guess it's like an improv.
Yeah, they're going to have 3 different segments of a game show, a cooking show, and a talk show.
Like a live thing?
I think it's going to be like kind of almost like a Whose Line Is It Anyway type of situation.
But they'll have probably the puppets and maybe some famous character there that's probably improving.
You know, I'm always anytime they do the like Muppets movie or like they have like one of the Muppets on like David Letterman back in the day, where it's like they do something. I'm always feel bad for the actor, whoever's in like having an encounter
like
with the Muppet,
puppeteer,
because they're having to talk. Because there's a guy underneath them that they know is there, and they see out of the peripheral vision, and they have to talk.
But they look down on him a little bit, right?
yeah.
Because he's like in jeans, and he's like some hippie, and he's like, man, I've been running Big Bird since I was like 18.
Every puppet,
some stoner.
Well, usually a fat nerd dad, right?
No, they're usually like hippies. Like Jim Henson. When you looked at Jim Henson, like he was like a hippie. Yeah. When you look at all these guys that were like, even in Star Wars, like your original Chewbacca's, all these guys, they end up looking like these 70s hippies that just love the art of puppetry.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
It is cool, but
they have that prop culture show has some stuff on the Muppets.
Yeah, I think that's the next one up. I just finished Pirates of the Caribbean. That was pretty good.
I can't interact with the damn puppet.
Can I give
with
you
the person?
Can I give you a real world example?
Person.
You couldn't interact with the Moonmen from Mars, and neither could our audience, because they were like, these guys are pretending to be something they're not, and this is horse shit.
And like back in the day when we would interview, this happened more on radio than our show, but you would interview a person that played a character for a long time and is known as that character, and then they'd want to do the interview as that character instead of the person.
Right.
And
it's hard.
It's impossible to interview that because
you did pretty good with Piff.
But he's
he goes in and out of character.
Sarcastic
to
dickhead.
A fucking living dragon.
He's just when you talk to Piff the Magic Dragon,
I love him so much.
He's
awesome.
more of just a sarcastic Brit.
He's got dry humor. It's so good.
But I'm talking about like I'm trying to think of people that were like I want to.
Well, like I'll give you one. I'll give you a good one.
Okay,
you and I are working for the morning show, and we're the producers, and then we find out that Universal's bringing by Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's at the. We're gonna talk to the actor that plays Beetlejuice. Yes, you are, but he's gonna stay in Beetlejuice the entire time. Will he ever break character? He will never break character. He will lose his job if he breaks character. Those were some of the hardest because sometimes you can't get. I'm better at this admittedly, I'm better at this than you are.
Yeah.
I can power through. Sometimes you get to a point where you're just like, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah. And I just heard an interview on Bill Simmons' podcast with The Undertaker, and apparently he came out with a documentary on the WWE network, which I didn't even know was a thing.
I think there's multiple documentaries about him. I mean, his career in wrestling is like 50 years old. Like, he's like, when are you really going to retire, man? Come on.
I guess he is now because of his hips and is just too beaten up. But he said for years he never did any interviews or anything because he was that old school wrestler mentality of you never break character. And his listeners or his fans didn't want to see anything else but Undertaker. He talks about
I'm more mad at Kane for taking the mask off. He should have never given up that bit. Well, I can't look at him the same. I don't like it.
And then he ran for
mayor
office.
Or something.
He won, I think.
I think he did.
I think Sting did the same thing. He took off his face paint at one point as well too, and
they all go back and forth.
I was like, his face isn't burned.
I think he has an injury that could potentially kill him if he hadn't retired. Sting. A lot of wrestlers get to a point. Even Mark Mara, you get to a point where you're like, if I get one more knock on the head, I'm paralyzed for good. It's like, nah.
Should have stayed Stunning Steve Austin. That's what it should have been.
I know, Stunning Steve Austin.
With Jim Henson, when did he die? Like years.
He died the year the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie came out, the first one.
Why do you know that?
Well, because I remember I was a big fan of Jim Henson.
Fact.
It was a random
1990.
It was when I was a big Jim Henson fan.
when
and that was one of his movies.
It's an odd thing for the Muppets to have gotten so popular because it's just
They always revamp it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it to
the Jim
today's.
Henson Company is running strong, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
And they can get like A-list actors to be involved
Because it's legendary.
Yeah, and they just
It's
wanted
just
to
an
do
institution at this time. It's
Yeah.
just been
I
out for so
liked it
long.
when they kind of took on, and hopefully this will have an element of that. Normally they always do, where it's like the grandiose late night shows of yesteryear, meaning your Jack Parr, your Johnny Carson, they always had that grandiose, remember their variety show, Smothers Brothers.
Yeah.
I know this is before most of y'all's time. It's even before mine. But I had this weird thing where I would always go back and see what kind of influenced other people. And those like variety show style, the Muppets always did a really good job at the variety show style. So it was no big deal for the Muppets to bring in like a Katy Perry or bring in like Shakira. I'm talking early 2000s megastars.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't a big deal because they can just slide in as a guest star, and then it kind of fits that whole like jazzy Hollywood vibe. I always really
Variety
enjoyed
show,
that.
The
Yeah.
red curtains.
Yeah, it had that variety show. Old Hollywood is what the Muppets really exemplify the good parts, not the bad parts, but the good parts of old Hollywood and the pizzazz. And when stars were stars, like Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, if you look at her, she really is that starlet of yesteryear where dressing room, the
Diva, very
the
diva.
gown,
Pearls,
the pearls.
What were
bring
the bad parts? I'm interested.
Bring the obviously old Hollywood. The bad parts were all the times that women were taken advantage of, sexually abused, and fucking killed or whatever. The misogyny that just ran wild. I mean, there's thousands of bad parts.
Gonzo fucked Fozzie.
You messed up your own joke.
God damn it.
But you know what I mean? Like I always liked that they went with that old Hollywood like pizzazz.
I love the Muppets. I'm excited.
Next story.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, ooh, it was nostalgia for sure. I found an article the past few days about, you guys heard the Nassau finding a parallel universe where time runs
Nassau,
backwards?
Bahamas.
We found the parallel universe. You're not going to believe it. Smoke these.
I did read this article.
You didn't? Well, I knew
yeah.
you kind of like space and science like me. None of you, nobody else really?
I
Really?
have not heard
Well,
this.
then this isn't that interesting to you then, because the truth behind it actually is that so the claim is that NASA scientists have evidence that could prove existence of a parallel universe where time runs backwards.
Whoa.
But this is the new news article that I recently read yesterday, which made me kind of sad, so it's not happy news for me. It's all way overblown and misrepresents what the
Are you
research...
saying NASA or
NASA.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or
NASA.
Okay.
NASA, like spaceship.
Nassau.
White trash say Nassau. I do it too.
I've never heard.
Nassau.
Okay.
Disney,
Did I say
Nassau.
Nassau?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
shit.
right behind
I
the
didn't
senior
mean to.
frogs.
My bad.
That's why I was very confused. I'm like, I
sorry.
didn't even know they had scientists there.
No shit. I was like, wow. I was like,
Dr. Carlos and Dr. Charlie admit.
And their head astronaut, Senior.
I am so glad to be going up in here. I will be the first frog in space.
Scientists actually found evidence or just signals of fundamental particles that may defy our current understanding of physics. It might even just be an issue with how particles interact with ice. Because how they found it was...
They put up
Their
a weather
space
balloon in
yes.
Antarctica.
Yes.
I read the story, and apparently they put this instrument, and they do it in Antarctica because it has less interference with radio waves and everything. Because obviously it's on the bottom of our globe, and then there's nothing around.
There's less
so-
everything.
Well, it's on the outskirts. It's depending on if you believe flat Earth.
Yeah. So it's away from a lot of things, so they can get a lot more accurate readings. So they found some evidence of particles traveling the wrong way.
Usually it comes from space down into the Earth, but they found it coming from the Earth radiating up.
And
I
then,
believe.
so
Which is impossible, they say.
They theorized that because of this, that they came up with a theory that there was during the Big Bang there was two basically universes created at once, and then the other one runs time backwards. Yes. Now they said that they would think if they had looked at us that we were backwards. Obviously, it's opposite of us. Yeah. And
it's opposite day.
But they did say that it could be a misreading of their instruments,
which made me sad because I thought that in another universe there'd be me like already experiencing all my traumas and death, and then going back to like when it was better,
like a Benjamin Button.
Yeah, like a Benjamin Button.
It's almost impossible to wrap your mind.
I've never seen that movie.
Benjamin Button?
No.
Me either.
It's not that good.
Not bad.
Really?
I
got teary-eyed.
The only part that I've ever seen, somebody sent me. This is
Forrest Gump by essentially dumb.
This is a true story. The only part of Benjamin Button I've ever seen is there's a part in the story where Brad Pitt gets on a scooter. A Vespa, and he rides it through the town.
Yeah.
And it's a VBA. It's like a 1959 Vespa VBA like mine. And somebody sent me the clip of it, and I'm like, it looks just like my scooter. And that's the only part I've ever seen of that movie.
There's a little big, and I'll explain this, but like the movie Big, you know how we always joke around about like, wait a minute, Tom Hanks' character was a 13-year-old boy in a man's body,
child brain inside a man.
And
Never saw it.
And then he had sex with the lady.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, she's having sex with essentially
the child,
the child of a 13-year-old brain. Now it's a man's body, but there's a weird.
She doesn't know.
But it's got to feel better.
13, so man, I would have.
It's got to feel better because your mind is fresher, and you got to be like, what is happening?
Yeah, for him, but like for her, she's essentially a brain pedophile.
Well, when he started, she is a brain pedophile.
No, that doesn't count.
Totally counts. You're just saying that because you're a woman. She's a brain pedophile, and she should have known.
She has no way of knowing.
She should have known when he came and started giggling.
Well, I think Butler does that. I don't know. That says anything.
I apologize.
Didn't you just admit that you giggled after you came? Like you said you
Thank you, Dr. Carlos.
Well, the thing is, she knew it after because she knew when he turned back into the 13-year-old, there was a instance.
Was she like, oh?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I blew this kid. So
nobody's ever said that, by the way.
I blew this
kid. I'll make up for it now.
So
here's an ice cream.
Just like that in Benjamin Button, there was a time because spoiler alert, if anybody is a fucking 15 years old or whatever.
It's longer than that, I think.
I
think it's 20 years.
So the whole thing is he ages backwards, and then finally he meets his love interest in the middle, and they have this.
Like how old though?
Well, at like the mid
20s or 30s,
like
right?
in the 20s and 30s,
they were 20s.
Like all of a sudden, he grew from extreme old age back down in his age, so he got down to the 20s.
I got a lot of questions about that movie because I've never seen it.
And then 30s, and then they had this relationship, but then he keeps getting younger as she gets older. So then
she's blowing a 5-year-old at the end of the movie.
I think it's grosser that he's dating an old lady.
Yeah. So is there a point when he's like 15, which would be equivalent to his mentally, he's in his 80s, and she's in his 80s. Does he bang out an old lady?
It's the bath rule.
What do you mean?
It's like me taking showers with my daughter. As soon as she can recognize what's going on down here, and she has, then you stop. So as soon as his pubes started disappearing, she's going to be like, look, your pubes are disappearing. I can't shower with you anymore.
But
mentally
he's 85 years old.
Right. He still wants a blowjob.
Suck my dick.
You're fucking. I got a 2-year-old yelling at me, suck his dick.
There is a scene.
I'm not sucking your dick.
I don't think I could do that.
She's holding a tiny baby that's like 90, and she's
sucking
like,
on the tits all nice. Yeah.
No. I'm getting fucking freaked out thinking about it. Let's change the subject.
No, we're not.
He's 90-year-old baby.
We're going to look right into it. It's totally okay.
On the baby's face.
Now, it is totally okay for a 90-year-old baby to suck a lady's tits, but it's not okay for a lady to suck a 90-year-old baby's dick. That's sorry, ladies. That's just the double standard. You just got to live with it.
That's not equal, though. It's usually the eating. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, how are you going to get a 2-year-old to eat a 7-year-old?
We've crossed the barrier we shouldn't cross.
You can't do it.
He's not.
He doesn't even know what it is.
He's like, oh, I came out of that.
He fought it.
He's like Goo Goo Gaga.
He fought in a tugboat in the war.
This might be the worst show we've ever done. There's like too many rape jokes. Now we're talking about
there's no rape jokes.
blowjobs.
Just talk to this guy about like writing a movie.
This baby went through a war. Tugboat. He can suck his old lady's tits.
Yeah.
And she can suck his baby.
Hey, your
dick.
babies.
No,
your
don't
babies.
say that.
Hey,
I'm sorry, this guy fought for a country.
Yeah. This baby's crying over here. We'll give him a cigarette. He's a baby. Nah, he fought in the fucking war. Give him a fucking cigarette. If he wants to fucking pull his dick out or suck that lady's tits, let him do it. He's a goddamn war hero.
In a tugboat was weird. Anyway, so what's the next story?
Okay. Something a little more lighthearted.
My God.
What, then sucking
Did
baby
this come
dicks?
from? Did this come from Jim Hanson?
No, Jim Hanson. It was one of the Hanson brothers.
The name of the show is The Wonderful World of Jim Hanson.
Take a seat, Tom.
Whatever.
So this tugged.
You're the only person I know that can get drunk off of bubbly.
That's you know.
Mental illness. Special needs.
You know. He went down the wrong aisle today getting Diet Coke.
I just
And I turned a blind eye to it because I've accepted his special needs.
That's how I'd rather live like that. I don't know why special needs people complain about everybody treating them differently.
Even the
I love it. I want you to give me passes because of I tell my wife all the time it's a better way to live. I'm like, leave him alone. Let him do whatever he
The
wants.
lady that stands at the, because they have a person that stands at the front to monitor lines and just gently tell you like what to do. She saw you do it. She didn't even say a word. She's like, oh yeah, he's fine.
That's what
She was like, bless his heart.
I want to be treated differently.
Bless his heart.
All right.
Fucking Jim Hanson.
All right. Our next story.
Okay, so this one, because I am sensitive, it made me kind of a little emotional. The story, but it was a happy story, but then it made me a little emotional. An 8-year-old Labrador Retriever named Moose, which is a cute name.
Suck the baby's dick.
Oh, no.
Yeah. See the chopper. Now the chopper's on. The chopper's happy.
Calm down, Chopper.
Yeah, you settle down.
I know
Chopper.
you want to chop. Is it time for chopping?
I want to play too. Can I play?
Yeah. I want to yell at absurd things.
I want to yell out baby dicks. Come on, guys.
All right, an 8-year-old Labrador Retriever named Moose received an honorary doctorate for helping so many students during his time as a therapy dog. Just like a lot of universities around the world, Virginia Tech was forced to have a virtual commencement. But the school's ceremony included one special graduate, an 8-year-old Labrador Retriever named Moose.
Stupid.
Listen, Moose, who has been working as a therapy dog at the Cook Counseling Center on campus for 6 years, received his honorary doctorate in veterinary medicine on Friday.
Well, what does that do to like everybody else's honorary doctorate?
Yeah.
You're giving this to a fucking dog that's about to die.
Yeah.
During his time as a therapy dog, Moose has helped thousands of students. His owner and licensed counselor Trent Davis told Insider, "It was the right place at the right time because we wanted to honor his years of service, to honor him knowing that his lifespan has been shortened by cancer." The dog just got cancer during all this, and he's about to fucking die.
Yeah, I mean, this has happened.
He lives his life.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
8 years old.
They're big dogs. They die early. They
only
get
8 years
cancer.
old.
Yeah, but they get cancer and stuff. I mean,
Cancer Davis is referring to is prostate cancer,
which
which Moose was diagnosed with in February. The 8-year-old dog has been going through treatment ever since.
You know what? I'm more surprised.
Stupid college kids.
Although
probably
I
found
didn't
shit.
know.
That's
I didn't
why.
know dogs had prostates.
Yeah, you're right. Well, they have.
I'm serious. I'm
Yeah.
not. Look, I'm
No,
not.
What's the gland that gets filled? Because Lena
Anal
one time.
gland.
No,
Anal
Jerry gland.
My dog's anal gland just burst, actually.
Yeah, it stinks worse than
It
shit.
got
too.
infected, and he started.
You
it
gotta
got all
squeeze
red.
those
You gotta
things.
squeeze them.
I'm not squeezing shit.
No, you take them out back.
Literally.
Yeah, we.
I know it's what you're supposed to do. but
Lena's
I-
burst in the bed one time.
Oh, my God.
It was
I'm
terrible.
gonna
And
vomit.
we woke up and it was the worst smell. It was worse than doo doo.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'll take shit all day long. I'll eat shit over. I will.
Yeah, I'd rather
I
smoke
will.
you than
A dog shit is clean.
It
like
stung my eyes.
Yeah,
it was
it's-
that potent.
It's so pungent. Like Caesar's, dude.
I was like, burn everything.
Caesar's last week, it leaked a little bit, and I was like, what is this? It looks like oil, and I was like,
Oh, you smelt it?
and I was like. I was like, hey, I didn't even know what to do.
Also, okay, going back to the story.
I was like, call the cops.
He deserves it, man. Obviously,
Everything-
the dog doesn't know what's going on and shit
Well,
like that.
that's-
But the
so-
concept of it is honoring an animal that helped. I
well, the
agree
people
with
are
that.
doing it for
For
themselves.
people,
not-
it's not for him. He
Yeah,
doesn't care.
Oh,
he
he's
doesn't-
still getting treated good.
You know what he wants? Give him a steak. You give him diarrhea. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
I'm sure he got some good food, too, which led to his cancer.
You know what he
Taco
wants?
Bell.
He wants to do his job because that's all he knows. knows.
Yeah.
Like and then that's what makes them happy.
Yeah.
That's all animals when you
so
train
he's
them.
a happy dog.
Well,
but the doctorate is it's a waste of time.
He's probably scared shitless when you bring him up on stage and a bunch of people. They're like, "What's happening?"
He
Like,
won't know it, but he'll know. But everyone will know that his name will live longer.
Norm in the chat said, "So long, meatball sub." He's just trying to eat a sensible meatball sub. You guys are talking about anal.
You know what? I forgot what time it was, Norm. I apologize. Put it in your pocket.
Deal with it.
Wrap it up. Put it in your pocket.
And also, I agree with Daniel for Virginia Tech. When you do
these are my parents' people. They're from Virginia.
When you
You guys are hypocrites.
give a dog a doctor,
Great soccer team.
the degree, you're like you're kind of knocking down everybody else's doctor. Right?
Okay,
A
so
little bit.
you're saying
we are 100% hypocrites, and we always have been.
At the same time, I got my doctorate. I worked for a long time.
hypocrite.
Some dog got the same shit.
I would feel
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
It's like, what?
It's a
Come
little
on.
disrespectful.
I believe Bill Cosby has an honorary doctorate from like
That's correct.
Howard University.
exactly. So it doesn't mean anything. Okay, so you're saying that when your animal dies, you don't like have maybe it's just me, but I have like a whole little box, shadow box with pictures and its leash and its chain. The dog doesn't know that I did that, but it's still honoring him.
I may not do all of that. That's a little. I would cry too much. I mean, you're a brave man if you can do it. I don't think I can do the shadow box. Isley, I have the paw print. I made Andrea put that shit away.
I got the paw print.
Can't do that.
I got both my dogs' ashes on my on my office by my.
Crystal put on our dresser where I get my underwear. Look, I see. It's a portrait of Lena that Derek Jennings made.
Oh yeah,
And
that's the
you're
one I
pulling out
got for her. That's the one I got
and
for
Your
her.
Grinchmas panties.
And then a little
Austin Powers,
a little
boxers.
wood box with her ashes,
ashes,
and then
yeah.
her collar on top was just sitting there.
Dirty
the collar
collar.
on top. So
And then, I have to
Got
look
all
at
the
it.
skin oil.
And I'm like, God, why?
why are you getting fleas in my Austin Powers boxers?
So I'm just like, I go, depressing.
it's not depressing. It just reminds you of all the good times you had.
But there, I don't know. Every time I saw Lena, she's either biting something or mad.
Biting someone.
She was
or
never
dog.
happy.
No offense to Lena, but not a fun
Then
loving.
she got addicted to pain pills. That was a rough.
Yeah, well, that's when I liked her.
Oh.
I'm like, give me some of your Tramadol.
she loved it.
I loved it.
I'm actually thinking when Rocky passed away, because Rocky's been with me the longest, and since he was little, of getting his ashes like in a tattoo thing and doing a little tattoo of.
Dude, that's how you get a fucking infection, bro.
This is coming from the same person that won't drink a shot of alcohol because I think you're gonna get COVID.
But I'll get my dog's
ashes.
ashes
It's
tattooed into my
burnt.
ass.
Yeah, but I assume when they cremate dogs, like they just
There's a few
Oh,
other
they
dogs
just
in
shove,
there.
yeah, they shovel whatever
I'm
ashes in the fucking.
gonna do it
urn.
myself, like
No,
Viking
don't.
style. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
lay him on a
God.
pie. I'm
Yeah,
laying on
your
a pyre.
girlfriend will
and-
love that. What are you doing?
Psychopath.
It stinks.
We're late. We're supposed to be at seasons 52 for dinner. I'm burning my dog.
I have a big half acre. I have a big outback area with a fireplace.
Yeah, but
and
you would
stuff.
have to get a those
I can get it hot enough.
Like they have like super.
No, we need to hook
blowtorches.
him up with.
Do you have an HOA, dude?
No, we gotta hook him up with Gentle Paws Aquamation or whatever. It's
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you
I
gotta,
don't want to talk about Rocky's not gonna die for a long time.
no, but you
I'm
got to
just
do
saying.
Aquamation, dude. It's better.
What the hell's
It's where they
Aquamation?
put your dog in like a shaker and they shake him into like nothing.
Yeah,
Fucking awful.
They disintegrate him in acid.
They use acid.
No, that's
it's better for
Joker
the
style.
environment. It's better for the environment, and then they get the
I don't
bones.
care about the
They
environment.
get the bones
Oh my
out, and then you get to pick which bones you want to turn into an ink pen.
I think.
Imagine you. Would you want your body?
I think some guy
drops
smashed
into acid.
Honestly, like, okay, Seth asked me a question. This is where the difference
like a
is.
petite.
Seth just asked me, would I, like, think about it. When you're dead, would you want your body dumped into acid? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're
if
dead.
I die,
I do.
If I die, you know what I want to happen, but it won't happen.
Yeah.
If I die,
Somebody
I want
to-
you guys to bring me in here, and I want every one of you guys to butt fuck me. My body. I don't give a fuck. I'm dead.
My body, my choice.
I'm down to do Weekend at Bernie's with you with Tom
Do
for
it.
a couple days.
I won't
Like,
care.
have
I
him
won't even
take turns.
know.
I want to be stuffed like a mummy.
Yeah, but everyone else will know, and the memory of you will live
Yeah,
on.
no,
like that
my
forever.
memory is I'm
not
not
your
there.
memory. Everyone else's memory. That's what matters
Our
after
memory
you die.
of you.
Is the collective the remembrance of how you were
I
and how you
want to
ended
be
up.
butt fucked.
I'm like,
You can do that while you're alive, you know.
Yeah,
No, I don't want to do it when I'm
Okay.
alive. I'm not gay.
I like.
Guys get pegged by girls. That's fine.
I like Bernie was a lot more movable. He's stiff. He stinks too.
Oh my God.
Stinks.
And he's a bloated.
You only have a small amount of
There's
time when you
something
can burn
leaking
it.
out of his jeans.
Everybody.
we have a day we can do it with the
Composition starts fairly quickly.
Everybody knew he was dead at public.
Are you sure you want me to butt fuck him? Yeah. I think everybody thinks we're murderers because we brought a bloated old man around with us to shop for bubbly.
You didn't put a mask on him.
I got put a mask on him. Oh, his belly's too distended. Poke it with a chopstick and let some hair out.
Oh God!
You gotta poke everything with a chopstick.
What do you think you would die of? Finally die of?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Probably working too hard. That's my greatest.
Well,
weakness.
percentages say it's a standard heart attack. That's what we're all gonna go.
Yeah.
It's
Mine,
like, or prostate
I think mine's
cancer.
probably gonna be. I have these. I don't know if you know this, but I have these. I've just been so itchy, and I have like a little bit of a rash on me, and it's. I know it's cancer.
Yeah. I tell Daniel all the time, like, one day you'll be right.
Yeah, I will.
And that's the sad
That's the
part.
scary part. Is
Yeah.
one day I'm gonna be freaking out, but I'm gonna be.
Yeah, the
appropriately
doctor's gonna be
freaking
like,
out.
well,
But you'll be a little bit happy that you're right? That's what I think of. You're like, finally.
Finally, I can say I told you so to everyone.
there is a
I
relief.
told you there was a reason for me.
You're old. Everybody else is dead because you lived a healthy life.
Yeah.
You have no one to tell. I died years ago of bad living. You lived. You'll be 90. Everybody you know you'll be dead.
Nobody fucking cares because
Like,
nobody's alive.
Your young girlfriend
my
will be
goal
alive.
is 90. My goal is 90. My young girlfriend.
But she'll be old to you because she'll be in her 70s.
Oh, yeah, she'll be 40.
Yeah.
And you're like, ew.
You're like, suck my baby dick.
No, she'll be at 40 at that point.
We can't let the sponsors listen to this show.
Nah,
They don't care. They don't
it's fine.
listen.
They've never made it this far.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
None of them listen.
Yeah.
They're just like, you do what you do.
I've
right?
done
the sales
the,
are good.
Look, I've done the numbers. It's 20 minutes, 25 of the most.
Okay.
All right, we got to take a break.
I just send them the commercial. I don't say listen to the show. I'm like, yeah, listen to the commercial. Like, good to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, good. Don't listen to the show.
Yeah, this is
What's
early.
surrounding it?
And baby dicks and rape. My
As
God.
long as
no,
it works,
that's
I'm like, good to go.
Give him the thumb. The name of the band is Early Eyes. The name of the song is Clarity. You know, I have a tendency to gravitate towards these songs that are like yacht rocky and funky. I think you'll like this one. We'll be back with more Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this show at tomanddan.com for email or 1-844-TOMNDAN.
Rather than feeling like this. And everything.
That is the Vicious Cycles with Problem Officer from their split 7-inch. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Butler's in the bathroom. Seth Petrozelli's on news. What are we doing now? Seth had another story. Do you want to get to that, or did we want to do it, or do you want to jump into? Because we got a lot more stuff to handle.
Yeah.
Let's rock it through some emails.
All right. You want to do a little mail on
yeah.
mail action? All right. Let's do it.
Hey guys, thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail. On mail.
Sneezing like crazy.
Bless you.
Mail on Mail brought to you by, let's say, our hookups page. We added some more hookups on the page recently, and that is on tomanddan.com. If you go to hookups, there is a lot of businesses that offer discounts to Tom and Dan listeners, and if you go over each business, it'll say a little paragraph of what discounts they offer and how you can get those discounts, and there is a lot of different businesses on there. And if you're a small business and you want a little bit of marketing that's inexpensive, is $50 a month, you can go on our hookups page and get yourself on there. We kind of accept anybody because it's like our version of the most inexpensive way to advertise with us. And there's some cool businesses on there. So go to tomanddan.com and just look under the hookups page and you will see everything there. Thanks, Mommy. first.
Forgot about this.
Yeah, I love the mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me. They'll email me. They're like, "What is that?" You play the little the guy that gets. Yeah, that is. Scientists took the inside of a sarcophagus and
Nassau.
It's one of my news.
yeah, and they decided to try and figure out
Nassau.
what the because they had this perfect indentation of like a mummy's voice
pharaoh.
box. Yeah, Pharaoh's like vocal
Something
cords,
like
and they put it together, and this is what he would have sounded like, and he sounds like he hates everything. It's great.
What do you think of this lockdown?
Oh, sorry. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Seth.
All right.
I'm out of the button game. I used to do that job all the time.
You know what?
Okay, this says monkey on my back named Pina Colada. What's up, Tom, Dan, Sam, and Redcoat? So since we all have been incarcerated in our homes, I've noticed from social media that there's a lot of people going on individual journeys of self-discovery while we are home. Cooking, crafting, learning new things, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I have discovered that I have what I feel is a very Florida stress reaction to pandemics and other stress triggers. Like a fainting goat falls stiff to the ground when frightened, or as an ostrich buries its head in the sand in the face of dangerous situations, I apparently turn to a food ninja with a small can of Dole pineapple juice, a splash of coconut milk, ice, and a comical amount of spiced rum. It's a problem. The monkey on my COVID-19 back is named Pina Colada. I find myself seeing how many shots of rum I can put into a pina colada before it's undrinkable. The number of shots is on the high side. Hasn't been determined yet. 6 ounces is the sweet spot, in my opinion. I guess it's some kind of comfort food
6
or stress
ounces?
reaction for a dude that grew up on frozen booze in the late 80s, early 90s, and
Yeah.
who also had some parrot head parents teaching me to blend margaritas at 14 and 15.
Man, when
too.
you're
That's
you're
what I
young
did.
and you can take
McKees.
those sugar drinks,
Yeah.
oh, they're good, man.
yeah.
My parents doing the mudslides and the
Yeah.
pina coladas on the.
I
on the
can't do
keys.
that now.
Painkiller. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the painkiller.
But he shouldn't be doing that. Lowers your immune system.
I like how we fancied it up by calling an alcoholic a food ninja. Because he's like, I turned into a food ninja.
Turned to a food ninja.
To a food.
The
I thought he was calling himself a food ninja.
I kind of did too. So he's using a ninja blender.
yeah.
Ah. Well, he turned into an alcoholic using a
I
ninja.
probably already won.
Yeah.
Anyway, mid 80s was a better time. When the going gets tough, the tough gets frozen booze flowing at my house. I'm not exactly sure what it is about this particular drink that I like so much, but I'm looking for the right balance of tropical tasty and grabbing a bolt of lightning that makes me feel better for a little while. I was curious what you guys have found yourself doing, eating or consuming that might seem ridiculous or childish that's comforting. Maybe you're just going harder in the paint on THC, beer, or boozy drinks that make you feel better. Cadbury's perhaps, Tom? Just wondering what you're discovering or rediscovering about yourselves while we're all in these unprecedented times.
I've been cooking a lot and like cooking things that I don't know how to cook, but like doing a pretty damn good job of it because I have the amount of time to research it correctly. And like and it's not health food, it's not good for your food, it's bad food. And I cook it and it tastes great and then I eat it. I mean, hence I've gained 4 more pounds than I wanted to, and there you go. Not good.
Sounds like a NARP situation, but
It's 100% NARP. 100% NARP.
The thing is, with my schedule, nothing has changed.
COVID.
Same.
And
well, except the weekends now, I'm not busy. Usually I'm busy as hell on the weekends.
My weekends have changed where I just stay home, but
now that I'm moving,
Monday through Friday,
same shit.
We've been on the same schedules. When I get home, it's the kids, and the kids go to bed, and so I have really no more extra time. And the weekends I've just been gardening, but it's not like this total transformation of my life.
But you have been doing more gardening, so I guess that would be your thing.
Yeah, that.
Have you been cooking more?
I've been cooking more.
Yeah,
I
don't get.
But you do a lot of Uber Eats, right? Like you do a lot of Uber Eats. Like I don't do. Like I couldn't tell you the last time I ate out. I mean, like here when we've ordered out, but like we don't really do that much. You know, like everything is cooking.
We get takeout a lot.
Tracy's an amazing cook. I lucked out, so she's been with me this whole time.
Yeah,
and I'm always cooking my meals, like healthy meals every night. So she like took to that and like got recipes, and she's been blamming them out every single night.
Wow.
No, seriously, she's been like cooking like really good paleo, like healthy meals every single night, like good shit.
It's astounding to me that some people can't come up with anything to do with the extra time. Like they're just like
I'm so bored. Yeah,
and I'm like, how does that exist?
Me
like,
and my husband talk about this all
what
the time.
The boredom thing?
Yeah,
isn't there something?
I always got shit to do.
Yeah. Like I've never
in
the past probably since maybe the days like back when I used to work at the radio station when I get off like at 1 in the afternoon and then like Crystal didn't get home like when she worked at Foot Locker she'd get home like
I had that with
late.
Andrea working at Target and IKEA. I had time.
Then there was like hours of time where there's no kids. There's pre-kids. There was actually maybe I was bored, but after the kids and like this job and like I've never. And then there's a list of things that I didn't even get to do for my house and like things I want to learn and like. It's just I could always think of something to do. I've never sat there and been like, got nothing. I'm just gonna say I'm bored.
Okay,
how does that work?
This is where I get shade. And I'm gonna
boredom. How does that work?
Look, man, I'll throw it out there.
Nothing to do. There's something.
I'll throw it out there, but I've gotten shade for this. Is that like because of COVID, I feel like my life, like here, has not changed. There's a lot to do here, probably more. I've added extra cameras. We've added extra computer programs. I'm working on a whole new solid-state hard drive that's going to take over. I'm building a new machine. We're building, we're trying to always progress. I mean, that, like you and I said, we will always try to get better. Yeah. Or if we're not going to get better, then let's just stop doing it, right?
Of course. If something happens, double down and work harder.
Yeah, so like for me, I've been working on that. But when I get home, even if I don't have anything to do, I've had the opportunity to put a racing exhaust on my scooter, to clean my garage pristine, to make upstairs where the Peloton is a better gym, buy some weights, organize it, clean it up, hang our riding shoes on the wall.
There's something.
There's
something.
always
just stuff to do.
There is never not,
especially if you own a house, you should be never
working on Maisie's room, going outside with her, taking a nature walk, and catching bugs that she wants to do. Last night, I went outside with her, and one of her friends gave her these. They're these stakes that are solar powered that you stick in the ground that have butterflies on the top and they light up. So we charged them in the sun, and then we went to another place and we dug out a little area and we stuck them in there and like planted them.
Seems tacky.
It is totally tacky, but like there's always something to do. You know what I mean? Like, I hate them. They're garbage.
You can find stuff to do.
No, but for little kids, they're great.
Yeah,
but
I know.
You know what I mean? Like there's always clean my car, vacuum my car, clean my garage, clean the fourth floor, clean the kitchen, redo the kitchen.
I think Tactical got it right. There's stuff to do, but people just don't want to do it.
Lazy ass people, man.
Well, it's easy to say that.
No, they're lazy.
But I think it's a mentality because it's
almost a switch or something. I don't know.
Look at the people that they go to jail and then they use it as an opportunity to write a book or get a GED or get jacked. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I'm here. I can't do anything about it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start doing push-ups every day and I'll get crazy jacked or I'll get my GED or I'll get my law. Like people,
right. It's a mentality to turn something that's bad into a better or to do something positive out of a bad situation.
Yeah. But then you call the people lazy that don't do that. But I think it's not really.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think it's just mentally different. It's like it's like they're not wired to use this extra time or whatever or turn it a bad situation.
And I don't know if you can force them.
But
even
that's not a good thing, though.
No, it isn't.
Well, then,
no, it's not a good thing. But I mean,
but I don't think they're even capable, maybe, of doing it.
Maybe not. It could be like me getting on a plane. You could file it under the same type of thing. Like maybe they're so affected by what's going on that they can't even find the level of motivation within themselves to. You know
what, Crystal does this thing where sometimes she'll have a mental block where if she's got too much to do, like she'll almost shut down.
Yeah,
like,
that'll happen to me sometimes.
She'll have like a list of things and then she like doesn't know where to start to the point where
you need a mental break of just not doing anything for a few moments because you start going crazy.
See, I've never had that problem because everything I've ever tried to do, I've crushed and like destroyed. Like you're like I'm a winner.
Right.
And I don't lose. You have a fly on your head.
Oh my God!
Did you see that? If it just flew away.
Is it poo-poo fly?
It's a doo-doo fly. Yeah, but I'm it goes into one of my topics I wanted to talk about is I'm tired of the vibration nation.
What is that?
And I think now we need to turn our phones on. You need to click it on so it makes audible noises.
Okay.
Number one, it's going to let you know as a phone user how often you're dependent upon your phone. Because it's going to go off and you're going to have to fight the urge to mess with it in your pocket. But what it does in my household is it lets my wife know how much more important and busy I am than her. Because my phone is constantly going off, constantly. She's like, what is that? What is that? I go, that's me being better at what I do than you are at what you do. And you need to understand that I'm just a busy, work-a-day, real man American hero. I'm on the front lines of this COVID thing, fighting it day and day with fart jokes. And what are you doing? Nothing. You're staying at home like a little pussy baby.
If you checked it, it's all Animal Crossing updates and
porno
and models from Instagram posting other bikini business.
Yeah.
Nothing with the business. Believe me.
Oh man,
we get one business email a week.
Do you guys get the updates from Vixen and Blacked? Oh, they're great. I just got an update. Sky Blue did Double Dick Trio.
All right.
Double Dick Trio.
Oh, Double Dick Trio.
Yeah, you got to think about that one.
So, how are the porno
they're not
producers?
Independent. The only way that they're surviving is being independent and doing their cam stuff. There's no way.
But some
I've seen some quarantine porn though.
Yeah. I've seen the mask thing, so I assume that they're done recently within the past couple months.
Oh, the mask porn? Well, those are amateur.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but
you're talking about the one where the lady has the mask and she's Spanish. She has the big ass.
Well, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there is a lot of them.
And so, but I'm like,
yeah, some of them are rebranded. You're falling for traps. You have to look for the ones that are purely COVID. They'll say it in the video. They'll listen to the dialogue.
But what I'm saying is, what is she getting paid? What is the person that produced this?
You're getting more because you're putting yourself more at risk, right?
No. But I'm just saying, not even with that. I'm saying, what is it worth now?
Payment? Nothing.
Because I remember,
exposure.
20 years ago,
Pornhub's free right now.
Yeah,
it is, but the manufacturers of porn, heroes. Someone's got to get paid. Like that girl's not working for free.
Well,
that guy.
I think this will change. Like everything. I feel like I still feel like we're on the precipice here. Like we're literally on the cusp of getting some really good music, and it's going to come out of people being in quarantine. I really believe that. And then with that, I think the porn industry is going to go more solo. So you're going to see less people working together because it doesn't matter what type of test they're doing. They're usually testing for some sort of sexual disease, right? But they can't test for these viral infections and stuff like that.
Though.
But I don't think people are going to want to put themselves out like that. Plus, it's expensive and it's not as rapid fire. I just don't. I think it goes more cam girl, more solo. I think it goes more individualized. They're making money. You see people making money that they
I'm
can.
so close to being an OnlyFans page, like having one.
But they have hours.
Would she do it?
No, me.
What, just you jacking it?
Gross, dude.
No, Simon Rex did it for years. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was really thinking about one.
Doing it for girls and guys. You don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Have guys look at my cock.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah, well,
and I'm sure there are gay guys that would probably love to look at your cock.
That's the only message that I get anymore on DMs. Is just
you're getting old.
That means you're age.
Hey, Poppy.
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm just wondering, who's getting paid to produce this? If we're all watching it for free and all these.
Pornhub still has money. I mean,
are they paying the?
I'm sure.
Producers.
I think that they pay. I think the way that it works, and I could be wrong, but let's say I was making jokes, but let's say Blacked. Which is, and I love the thing that they put at the beginning of their videos where it's like, if you're a black guy with a big dick, contact us. And I'm like, God damn it, not me. But they, I think, partner with Pornhub to give them almost like trailers or minimalized, smaller versions of their full content to get you hooked on something you like. So there'll be some sort of, I don't know what the deal would be, but there's a deal there. And then everything else is on their site. And then that's how Pornhub.
I understand that model because I've seen those where it's just a snippet of the full video, and I'm like, okay, that's no problem. That's just marketing. They're trying to get people back to their site. But I'm talking full videos that are obviously made recently. Mm-hmm. I'm like, someone's the people in the video have to get paid, and then the producer of this that filmed it and edited it, he's selling it to someone. He's not doing it for free.
I think it would be smarter if you were a really attractive. I'll just use girl because it's more prevalent. it'd be smarter as far as money goes. I mean, to go like our route. Just go independent and do it yourself.
Well, a lot of them are doing that where they. But I'm saying like there's still the videos.
No. What I'm saying is you're right. We're agreeing. I'm just saying that it's too bloated. Like you don't need the crew or the camera or the dumb idea for the stupid video. I mean, a lot of like what I've been seeing. A lot of like adult stars do is they'll invite another adult star to just come stay with them. And then they'll OnlyFans for like a weekend. So let's say, Sam's a porn star and she invites, this other famous boy porn star to come to her house. He comes in, they film for a weekend, they put all the content out, they split the money, and then he goes back to where
Double Dick Trio.
They're doing it independently.
But maybe
they're doing exactly the same thing, Double Dick Trio independently.
But I bet the websites, the Pornhubs, the X videos, they're making millions off of
I think they'll go away though.
Off of advertising. But the amount of web hits they get is insane. So any advertising they put, I mean, if you're just like look at some of the YouTube videos we've seen, like if you have 100,000 plus subscribers, I mean that is you can make a lot of money.
Well, you're a media outlet.
Yeah.
You're not even just an influencer
Do you think
at
that's
that point.
different, almost like what 100,000 views on you for you would be. It's almost different with 100,000 views with porn. I mean, you're talking about like a 30 seconds of them watching it, opposed to like 100,000 people watching 2 hours of content with you. I feel like it stands at a different level.
Their site gets visited.
Sometimes you gotta get it out.
Oh, you know what I forgot to look at? I forgot to look at the daddy long neck porn that you told me about.
It's what you think it is.
Yeah, I won't watch it then. Okay,
that's gross.
All right.
Is it me or her?
Yeah, let's do a voicemail.
Yowza.
All right, I gotta take a stand on this makeup debate for your daughter, Dan. I'm sorry, agree with you a lot, but she's just turning 5. She's innocently wanting to put on makeup like mommy. She's just a little girl. The fact that you're making it a big deal, a big forbidden thing, is going to change her psyche on it. It's not a big deal. She's not wanting to go out and get on the street corner. She just wants to put on a little makeup and feel girly. There's nothing wrong with that. You're making it bad because in your mind, a girl who apparently wears makeup is slutty. You got to fix that, bro. Tighten up.
Well, in society's mind, if your 5-year-old leaves the house with makeup on, people will be like, "What are you doing?" Right? People will be like, "That's why."
Well, I think the problem more so is the fact that she made the statement that she wanted. It was something about like having to have makeup to be pretty.
Yeah,
That's
like
more
let
of
me
the
put
issue.
my makeup on to be pretty. No, I will say that there is some positivity, and that's awesome. There's some positivity, or what he's saying. I agree with. I should say. But I will. What he doesn't know is that I don't show Maisie any of that. Like I don't.
Yeah, you're saying it here.
Right,
I'll say it to you guys. I'll say it to Andrea in private. I do not make her feel weird for liking to put on makeup if mommy's putting on makeup or whatever. I wouldn't do that. I'm a little more wherewithal.
You just tell her you're not old enough for that or whatever.
We haven't even gotten there yet. I'm trying to head it off at the pass. And I don't want her wearing makeup. I don't want to do this at 5. I'd rather do this down the line. What he's saying, I do agree with. I do think that the actions that you have and the opinions that you exude to somebody that you're parenting, you can directly influence what they think about their own body and everything, and you got to be careful with that. But no, I don't make her. I don't say that in front of her. That's as far as I'm concerned, it's none of her business. I'm a parent. I parent with mommy. I don't parent with you.
Yeah.
So you don't need to know that.
This is kind of
That's
the
my
same
opinion.
as bad words, and I'll explain because Crystal does that. I'll give her credit, which I never do, but she does a good job.
Well, she's a great mom.
If Tommy the other day he's like fuck. Like
No, he didn't.
Yeah. No, he didn't even know. He was just putting a sound together. Like it's not like he may have picked it up. One of us may have accidentally said it in front of him.
This daddy's gambling.
He was saying fuck,
because that does sound like you going fuck. I mean, that is. I mean, it's
like fuck 13 and a half and 11 and 14.
Quintessential Tom Van.
But he was saying fuck, and then Crystal didn't. I was like, oh shit, it's happening. But
and he's like, shit.
I was like, fuck. He's saying it.
He's like, so you're looking at him, and he's like, fuck, and you're like, fuck, and he's like, fuck, and like, fuck. I like it going back.
But she didn't react, and she explained it
She's
to me.
calm,
She's
yeah.
like, if I would have reacted like, hey, never say that,
Right.
never, then he would have been immediately like, oh, what, like, because he didn't even know what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then that probably would reinforce the fact that this is a word that is like not to be said, and then that sticks to his head. He'll remember it
She's
forever,
right.
probably. And then instead, she just didn't say anything.
Calm under pressure,
And then he
man.
just went on, moved on with it, and never, you know.
Yeah,
and it
he'll
was like-
never think of it again.
And then it wasn't a big deal.
Or he's like in his head, he's like, I got away with it. I'm gonna say it again.
Well,
exactly
he is
what it
very
So
smart.
she didn't say anything at all to him?
This is my friend Fuck, and he's like a toy.
He just moved. He moved on. He was just saying like nonsense in his mind
She's
out loud.
right. I
and,
did it. I did it the other day playing Animal Crossing. You know when you got to hit your rocks and get the you get your coin. I get my money rock, and I know you're gonna make you mad. I dug 2 holes and I hit it and I fucked it all up, and I was like shit like that. And Maisie goes, what shit? Like that. And I didn't even react. I just kept moving. I didn't say a word, and I go, I didn't get the money rocks. And then I just moved on. She never said it. You know,
she's gonna think it's
she
okay.
She didn't even know.
Shit in the toilet, you gotta flush it.
Yeah. Like, people will, if they hear their kid like say, now if your kid's saying it in the purpose, in the intent
Maybe I'll
that
just start
fuck is
saying,
supposed to be said, then you react to it and you teach them. But if they're just 5-year-olds,
look at
it's
that.
like
I
nonsense.
always have a story. Were you guys allowed to cuss when you were little kids? Like
No.
Oh God.
Hell no.
So we put on. I don't know how old I was. Whenever Boys in the Hood came out. Whenever that year that was. Yeah, I was a little kid.
Oh my God.
93.
I feel like we're
94.
inching into racist pathway.
No. We had it on, and so there was tons of fucks, tons of shits,
Yeah.
everything like that dropped. My dad heard us watching it.
Well, now, what age were you watching Boys in the Hood?
I was like 12, but my brother and sister were watching it, and they're like 4 or 5 years, 6 years younger
Oh my
than me.
God.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're like, like
No, not Boys in the Hood. They can watch New Jack City, but not Boys in
6
the
years
Hood.
old, 7
It's
years old. watching it.
91.
So
how old were you?
Yeah, I was 11.
Okay.
So my brother was
6-year-old.
9. My brother was 9, and my sister was 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old, watching Boys in the Hood.
Dude,
why?
honestly,
Listen,
I
I'll tell you-
probably watched it like that young too, because a lot of parents didn't monitor what you
Well,
watched.
We
my
don't
mom-
just show
my mom let us watch
Tommy,
it.
goddamn, what is
You
it,
couldn't
Harry
show
Potter
him
1?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and he was scared,
But my
right?
mom let us watch it. And my dad walked in and saw us watching it, turned to my mom, and goes, "You fucking let them watch this goddamn shit on this fucking TV, you fucking like
Right.
way more."
Yeah. Come here, I'm pushing you down the stairs, you cunt.
No, what I'm
Oh no!
this is my mom, not my stepsister's mom.
I lose track of the domestic violence going on.
It's real sad.
There's a lot of
We're
domestic
hitting all the
violence.
check marks
Yeah,
today.
put that on your bingo card.
Anyway, he was dropping like all those words as we were watching the movie. So I grew up in a household where it was like.
So you
literally
got the
nothing but
fake
shits.
version and the real
And the real
version
version.
right in front of you.
What I'm trying to say is.
Then he slugged her in the belly.
I'm gonna put your fucking uterus out.
There's not. I don't think there's a big deal about cussing in front of kids because we're fine.
Well, if anyone listens to this show today, they would not think we're fine.
Hey, I'm not the one talking about sucking baby penis.
You were involved.
They were.
Guilty by association.
No,
Well,
it's-
Ellie, he's fine. Look at him. Perfectly okay.
You guys,
So,
you guys overblow that. I'm fine.
I do worry that, like, because we are growing up in a society where I never let my sons watch shit that I watched when I was young, like,
No, you're babying
what
them.
our
No.
80s parents
If it
let
was
us
on
do.
HBO, I was watching it. So Revenge of the Nerds, Hellraiser,
Yeah.
all that crazy shit.
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. I remember seeing Bush for the first time. I was like, "What is Bush?" And then I saw it. I was like, "Oh my
knew
god!"
Bush.
I've
I
talked about
think because of you, I'm a little more lenient with what Maisie watches because I'm afraid of it. Like she watches Fairly Odd Parents, which I don't know if you guys know. I've mentioned this a bunch lately on ACT and stuff like that. It's a cartoon about a kid whose parents are really fucking bad. They're bad people.
Uh-huh.
And the only people that kind of save him and right the ship are his fake fairy godparents that, like, his real parents, like, neglect him. They make jokes every episode about how much neglect.
But you know what? I bet a lot of kids relate to that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know what I'm saying? There's
Sad
a
as
reason
shit.
why that was made.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
I've never watched it, but maybe I should check it out.
It's funny, dude.
My sons have watched like Karate Kid, and that's like what is? I mean, that's PG-13, right? I mean, not made for 4 or 5.
But it's not
6-year-olds.
dirty or anything.
No.
I think it might be PG. I don't know if it's PG-13. They didn't cuss.
But if you look at the evolution of what happened, like if I look at my own life, like my pop, his parents, World War I parents, put him into a orphanage because they couldn't afford food anymore, so they had to pick 2 of their kids and put them in an orphanage. So that's the way he grew up. Then my dad grew up the product of that being his dad. You know what I'm saying? So then it dilutes all the way down to me. My dad took me to The Abyss when it first came out in the movie theater. I think it was the first movie I watched. I was like 10.
Mine was Smokey and the Bandit 2.
Return of the Jedi in England.
Nice.
And so, like, obviously, and I think the 80s parents, like, they obviously did more than their 50s parents, but it was just like, if you made sure your kid didn't eat some poison or, like, didn't hurt himself or, like, and that was fine. You were a success. Like, your
It
kid.
was literally just keeping him alive.
Yes,
that was it.
You keep them alive, and maybe maybe nutrition started to get in there, but
No.
depends on socioeconomic standards.
Yeah.
But then now it's we have unlimited information coming from everybody. Plus you have your lives, what you live on social media. So then you got the input of everybody else. Like anything you do,
the blame and shame.
Like so that will kind of right you.
Yeah.
And so, but is there going to be a blowback or the pendulum swings back out of our kids' generation? Like, how are our kids going to treat their kids?
Well, hopefully
is it gonna
better.
Get, But is it going to get continually softer and softer until
I don't know why you use the word soft. What if we're actually educating and taking care of our children and not neglecting them? Like, what the fuck's bad about that?
Not
just
neglect,
just not
but
being like so. It's almost like soft is the wrong word. I agree with you, but it's almost like just not being like irritated by the littlest thing.
There's a happy medium here.
But not right now. There's not. I mean, like
there's
right
not. That's the
now,
problem.
like anything that happens. I mean, even in like here, if we did something, like it's almost like we put upon ourselves this feeling of extra scrutinizing when it used to just be a little more organic. It used to be a little.
Well,
I don't want to say thoughtless, but
the only one involved in your life in the past was your immediate friends and family, and now we live a life where everybody's involved in one way or there used to be a time where it's like privacy was upheld to a certain degree. It was like how I parent my kids or how I live my life is none of your business, and it seemingly it's everybody's business now because you put it out there. Now it's the same. It's kind of your fault for putting it out there too, because you're asking for people to comment on your business, and we now are used to that. But you're doing you can live a life where no one sees what you're doing. That's an option of yours. Like you don't have to post your shit on social media.
But if you I mean, like we're in this world because we do this and we broadcast, but
yeah, we're a little bit different.
But yeah, we're totally different. But
I pick and choose what I
Joe
post.
Average? Okay, what percentage? You can probably look this up, Sam. What percentage of, let's just say, America is social media active or on there?
A lot,
because most people that are on there and that are active, you kind of get pulled into that wanting to project whatever you're doing, right? Or is the vast majority of people off of this sort of thing?
79% of the population in the U.S. has a social network.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Because think about it, because 79%, there's a lot of extremely old and extremely young in the United States, so that's a percentage. So
that's a lot.
It seemed like almost 100% of people within 20 to 50.
Yeah, because the ones you're eliminating are like babies and dead.
There's there's 13, 14 on Instagram.
Of course,
alone.
I'm talking about
I'm talking like 10 and under probably don't, and I don't know,
75 and
up,
but
and even them are on Facebook. So my grandma's on Facebook because just to stay in touch with the family. And
she is.
80s,
Give me your.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? Okay, I was telling.
She's single.
Yeah, I need to slide up in there.
She has Bob though.
Who's Bob?
It's a battery.
Wait, Butler has Bob too. It's a ginormous butt plug. That's Bob.
It's a battery operated boyfriend is what she calls me.
She tells you about that?
Yeah, she tells me that stuff. My grandma's nuts.
This is a weird
God.
relationship.
This is where you got it from. Hold on. Can we get your grandma on the show?
On the phone?
Probably on the phone, yeah.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
Let's call Seth's grandma.
Let's call Seth's dildo grandma.
She'll talk about it too. It's pretty embarrassing.
Yes, let's talk to her. Let's call her now.
Is she Italian?
Yeah, she's Italian.
Yeah, typical.
Is she the one
cool
that you shit in
Italian
her
grandma.
pool?
Oh, shit.
Wait, what?
Is she the one that you shit in her pool?
My grandma, my mom's side.
Oh.
The really uppity, rich ones.
Yeah.
Shit in their pool. And I got to look. I remember I got the face of her burned in my skull when she looked at me. I was like, no, she's not.
Well, you shit in her fucking pool.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like?
Butler's the voice of reason. She's like, hold on a second. You diarrhea the pool.
Like the look of disgust was on.
What are you supposed
to
to do in a pool? It feels good. It's all squishy. It comes right out easy. It's like a big toilet.
Listen, I only come in pools. This man's shitting in pools.
You're both disgusting.
You two belong
This
to
is
the
the gross couch.
together.
Oh no, the ocean is where you should do it, not the pool. I agree.
What is happening?
I was talking to you guys before the show started. I find myself
No,
like
you weren't.
I'm scrolling through
we're-
Facebook, and then I'll stop to read something someone posted, and then I'm reading it, and I'm like, why am I reading this? Like, who? I don't even care. Like,
Well,
not
it's
that,
like somebody's opinion of like what's happening in the world. Yeah.
It's like I don't stop. Like I made the analogy. Like I don't stop. Like some random stranger on the street that maybe looks crazy and like, hey, tell me what you think, buddy. Like why no one does that, but we do it on social media, and then we get enraged about what this person thinks. Like, why do you give a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe
if we all stop and like keep that in mind, like, why should I give a fuck that this person is writing this paragraph on social media? Maybe everybody wouldn't waste their time arguing back and forth on social media. Our world would be a better place if people stopped arguing on social media.
Yeah.
And then I see like the
Because
posts.
who cares?
of
People are fucking crazy. People have different opinions. It doesn't affect your life personally.
And then you're like I said, it's like
And it's okay.
And you're not going to change their
And
mind.
it's okay to disagree. Too.
Yeah, and also like, why were you even? And then the other one is like the people listening to people's advice and people's like opinions and taking it as some sort of like fact or this person's got a opinion that I don't like or do like or whatever, and you're like sharing that. And it's like, who is this person? You probably don't even know him that well, or it's your Uncle Randy that what the fuck does that guy know?
Yeah.
Like
you already know he's a fucking idiot. Yeah.
So why are we even looking at it at all? And I think it goes back to people are addicted to the reaction. They want it.
Yeah.
They look for it.
It's a drug, dude.
It's a drug to get mad or happy.
Oh yeah, I love hating people and reading people's things. Like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
But
and
you've
they
come a
want
long
it.
way. You don't engage anymore, which is kind of sad.
Well,
for my
not under my main name. I don't.
Oh, you got a fake profile?
You know what? I think we're done. I think we're done. It's the end of the
Then
show.
there's that.
Yeah.
Because there's the people
shit.
that have the secret profiles.
I knew that you had mellowed out because I was like,
Oh, I gotta know his fake
like,
profile.
Because some BDMs will say that and Seth's like, they'll say something and he'll just be cheery about it. He'll be like, yep, that's me. And I'm like, hold on a second.
That's
but
not
Franco
the real Seth.
underneath.
Yeah.
Hey, why you fucking with the Seth? I fucking suck a dick. Hey, it's me, a Franco.
Or whatever your fake name is. Oh, you can like, goddamn,
Usually
Franco's
under your
mad.
grandma's account. You know?
Me and Bob are mad.
Franco is getting defending Seth way too much.
Hey, my phone. Did you hear that? That was my phone.
Yeah.
Don't be part of the Vibration Nation. I told Andrea this. You turn that shit on and you let it happen. It will teach you to put your phone down.
Or another room or whatever.
Yeah, it'll turn the sounds on. Don't go vibrate. Vibrate is just sneaky. And I told Andrea, he goes, well, why? That's stupid. Why would you do that? I go, how many times has my phone vibrated and I've picked it up and answered a text while we're watching TV and you didn't really know it? And she goes, okay, I support your dumb thing.
I don't get it.
I bet
you wanted to make a noise so that way you know.
You wanted to make a noise that will keep you off of it more.
It'll keep you from having it on you.
Yeah,
more
because you look and you're like,
pissed.
okay, it goes off. Oh, it's not Tom. It's not Sam. It's not Travis.
Some
It's not
garbage.
my
Yeah,
friends.
it's
It's not
business.
Seth, my friend. Yeah, I don't care. It's just, it's not. I don't care. I'm out.
I bet you that our kids will look at the way we use phones now, the way
You're
we
right.
look at back in 2003, the opioid epidemic, and the way
or like
big people,
smoking.
we were like, whoa, doctors were just giving everybody opiates, dying left and right. Like the people were subscribing oxy by the fucking hundreds to everybody.
Oh, that was a
and
sweet
it's like,
spot, though.
You're
It
like,
was
whoa,
great.
why would you? And then I bet you the future generation is going to be like, you just had your phone with all this guard going off all the time. You're on social media using it like this. You're an idiot. Like, but we don't know. And I will just learn, just like the fucking opiates. Like, oh shit, that was bad.
Yeah.
And then we'll look back 10 years and be like, oh shit, that was. And then I'm sure we're going to look back at 2020 and be like, oh fuck you, pandemic. You just openly did all this shit that was spreading the like
certain people or
well, the way you lived. I go back like when my pop, I was taking him to fucking dialysis, and like back then, shit, this was like 4 years ago or 3 years ago. Dude, I think I was like, I would like have a runny nose or have a cold or some shit. And didn't like, I was taking this 90-year-old man who had health problems to like, I wasn't
coughing on his
I didn't get the
dungaree.
flu shot or anything, like I didn't do anything to protect myself back then. I never thought twice of it. No one did. Like no one said like, hey, go make sure you get the flu shot. With
you got an old grandpa.
Yeah, you got an old grandpa. You're taking to dialysis. Like this is
Not to mention the
never
other
thought of it.
people in dialysis.
Exactly. Yeah. Just like now I look back and it's like that was pretty irresponsible.
You killed
of
a
me.
lot of people.
No, it didn't. And no, he
I think he did.
They killed a lot of grandmas coughing while they're watching Fox News.
He didn't ever get sick with anything that I gave him that I know of that I saw.
Is it true that you killed your grandpa?
But
What I'm hearing is that you killed your
it's,
grandpa.
That's what I heard.
or other people.
As well as other people.
I heard you killed all the grandpas.
It just
Everyone in that entire medical facility is dead now.
You all gain perspective as time goes on.
That could be true, actually.
One more, and then we get out of here.
Yeah.
Last one.
Tom, Dan, Sam, Butler. Just listening to ACT about the substitute teacher gig. Wanted to chime in, let you guys know that I did used to be a substitute teacher and a tutor for the county school board that Dan, you grew up in.
His voice is so calming with the crickets.
Volusia County.
So if you had any questions, I could definitely fill in on some of those educational qualifications. What it takes is a 3-day course. One of those days is a OJT. The other 2 are in class, like a training class, not class with students.
Technology is so good that I can't pay attention to this because the goddamn cricket
Too
chirping, and
Chris.
it sounds like I'm watching Planet Earth.
But yeah,
I can't do it.
And by the way, we know substitute teacher is bullshit. Anybody here could be a substitute teacher. It's like
Yeah.
you show up, it's like
Well, Seth is on a list.
Yeah, he can't.
it'll tell you like hand the papers out, and then you sit there.
Because, like,
and
she'll be like, oh my God, I think I know you. Wasn't I twerking in your garage? Next to your tampon car?
He's not even paying attention.
I'm actually arguing with my niece right now to talk about it.
I thought we said,
you wanna talk about it?
You want to talk about it, Brad?
Oh, we can talk about it. I don't know.
All right.
You
You want the chat room to weigh in? We can weigh in.
Family drama.
I'll put my serious
Is
hat
this
on
the-
if you want to.
Is this the niece that used to take all her friends to, the strip club?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What?
She's 18 now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now?
She's 20 now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Was she 18 when she was going to strip club?
I don't know.
I
Don't
think-
talk about it.
She had a job. She was working at a bottle girl there.
It's a better time.
But
At what age?
you want to have
19?
12?
you're not letting her over your house because
No,
of
she's
your-
at my house right now. No.
Coughing in your
She's
underwear.
infecting
Oh my
everything.
God, you're going
See
back
that
to
Panama-
you're
no.
going back to a coffin.
Panama.
Panama City.
Panama City.
She just went out with the friends that I don't know. She says she just texted me now saying they've been safe, but I don't. I see them on.
Oh, that's what I tell
I
people.
see him.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
How safe can you be when you're doing tutors and drinking a yard of beer?
I can't even. I'm obviously not that safe. But I tell I'm safe.
Farting on your pillow.
Yeah.
I had
okay,
like
full transparency. It just I'll take some heat off of you. I haven't washed my hands one time since this thing started.
Yeah. I see.
I don't even know I don't even do they look clean? I don't know. They're jet black. It looks like I'm wearing Black motorcycle gloves.
I took all the government issued the PPE, all the hand sanitizer that went to our business.
Yeah.
I hoarded it for myself and just used it all. And used it for
Anybody else want to
Great
confess?
commercial for your gym.
I'm joking. I'm totally.
Anybody else want to confess?
I'm joking.
I bought all the toilet paper the first time Baldwin Public's open.
Saying
I
something.
feel better now.
Saying something that we know is
These
obviously
wind chimes are going off.
it's obviously
Whoa,
real. Is that my fault?
Yeah.
I thought that was somebody at the door.
No. When I fart, wind chimes go off. I
You
put that
blam
back
them
in.
out?
No, that's not a blamer then.
That's my blam charm.
Your whole take your phone off silent mode doesn't work well for our business.
Well,
No, it does
you know,
not.
this is my
No.
new thing. Oh, this just came in. President Trump says governors should allow churches to reopen immediately. There you go.
No,
To
we
get your
didn't know that.
religion on.
Anyway,
As long as everyone's spaced out.
I'm spaced out right now.
Yeah, man.
So you want to talk about it or no?
Oh, we can. I just know if we had time. I mean, long story short, she went and partied with a bunch of people last night. I saw on a Snapchat. She knows I'm trying to be safe, and she tried to compare it to me having two of my employees that have been with me on lockdown since the very beginning of this. I invited them over outside my house around a fire to just chill and hang out, just as a thank you for working so hard at the gym and stuff like that. She says, well, you did that, so I thought it was okay to do this. I'm like, you don't see the difference between going to a small hotel room and twerking all over each other and then...
Wait, a hotel room?
Yeah. I think it was a hotel.
I
Yeah,
had
it was
no
two beds.
hotels
It looked like a hotel
back
room.
open.
I mean, when I was there, it was fun. I mean, we were safe, I thought.
I wonder.
Do you have a mask on when you're in the hotel
I
room?
mean, on my butt.
I wonder if this was like a similar. It'd be interesting to talk to someone that.
I
was
like during a pandemic, someone's having a hotel party. The fuck?
Well, people are stir crazy, you know, especially younger people. Like,
deal with it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Deal with it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
get
they're
that's what her
not.
mom just told me. She's like, well, she's young. Imagine you at 20. I'm like, I don't know. Me at 20, I'd be fucking gone. I'd be, who knows what I'd be doing. I know what I was doing.
I don't know. I was kind of nerdy at 20. I think I was probably just, I don't know. I don't even know.
I was the
don't
same
even-
hypochondriac as I am now, and I would have been locked in my fucking duplex.
Yeah. You didn't just develop this over the past
No,
2 years.
I've been like this since I was a little. Since the AIDS epidemic came out.
Well, I was speaking of that. I wonder if back then, like during the height, and there was like back then there was misinformation crazy. Obviously,
yeah.
no one knew what was going on. So I bet you they had a lot of the similar conversations. Like, hey, have you been safe? You like, oh yeah, I've been safe. Like, you know, like it's do you use a condom every
bro,
time?
you got gay cancer? Nah, bro, I don't have gay cancer.
Dude, that was the misinformation that was fucking floating around everywhere. No one knew anything.
It was terrible.
I'm sure 5 years from now we're gonna look back at this time and be like, "Oh, wow,
Should have been wearing condoms the whole time."
Hey, you win.
Butler was right." All right, let's get out of here.
Yep, let's get
We'll
out of
never
here.
say
Plug
that,
some
by the
stuff.
way.
So you can become a BDM at tomandan.com.
You can.
We will eventually.
Oh man, you guys are in for a treat Monday.
Oh yeah. We got
bike ride.
So we did a little Memorial Day special that you'll see on the BDM shows.
I'm still in pain from the whole situation.
It's, you'll laugh. It's funny.
And then the hookups page and all of our other sponsors, they're all on tomandan.com. Semantics, new episode tonight.
Actually, we're gonna record tomorrow.
Ah.
Got some painting going on today, so we're gonna record tomorrow. Send us an email, show@semanticspodcast.com. Comes out every Sunday, Semantics Sunday. Check it out, semanticspodcast.com.
There you go. Check out Samantha's podcast, like and subscribe, and support on Patreon.
Travis, you got anything?
Yeah. Actually, my wife's practice is actually expanding, so she actually it's gonna be double the size of her suites at Health and Motion Chiropractic. So definitely check her out.
Double Dick Trio.
Double Dick Trio.
In 2009, an almost little person. I won't do it.
Go ahead, sorry.
Just tease it.
DocDoctor.com.
Seth, your gym is open right now, correct?
Yes. We're doing back to the new normal specials. Is what we're doing right now. We actually have been extremely the past week we've had signups like crazy, which is thankful. I'm thankful for it. Which is awesome.
Well,
you gotta be.
This will cause, I'm sure, people to reevaluate their health, right?
I'd hope so.
You know, like
Well, not really fat people, but fat people.
It's just, I think this will probably open a lot of people's minds and eyes to like, hey, I should live a healthier lifestyle.
Well, a couple of them, what I've heard, like at the front desk when I'm talking to them and stuff, is basically, oh, we're on lockdown, we have nothing to do, so we might as well start exercising. We started exercising, now that it's over, we don't want to stop, so we might as well keep going.
But it's more like this, right? Right? It's more like that.
No, there's a couple like that.
I'm trying to get him, but I can't. I can't break him today. He's too serious.
No, they're they're healthy individuals. They look healthy.
Yeah,
I
healthy.
guess.
That's what you big bone. Yeah, I know.
You know, it's funny. We used to say like, "Oh, do you call big people healthy?"
yeah, they're
Yeah,
healthy.
they're healthy.
I don't even know.
Look at that. He's a healthy boy.
That's what they said.
Not really.
That's what they
His
said to me.
liver is the size of a goddamn basketball. He's got fatty liver. He's 12 years old. He's got fatty liver. He's not healthy.
Yeah. So if you want information on that, we have all new. I think I've went over all the health things that we've done. It's so crazy how clean we're being at the gym. It's ridiculous.
That's good.
Mandatory temperature checks for everyone that walks in the door. Mandatory hand washing as you enter. Brand new sanitizing stations everywhere. We end every single class 15 minutes early. Just have the entire gym sprayed down and disinfected, mopped, bags, literally everything. Every single class throughout the day. So it's like 6-7 times a day, the whole gym is getting disinfected.
You know what's funny is
it's
that
crazy.
I don't think
we're
that
going through
gyms,
disinfectant.
I don't think gyms are factoring in the cost of disinfectant and the fact that disinfectant's going to break down your bags and all your plastic and stuff like that. I mean, you're probably going to lose your business.
Can it disinfect 100 Blammers?
Guys, I'm sorry. Normally it's 15 minutes to reset. It's going to be about 20. Somebody just blammered. I gotta get out the Blammer vacuum and suck these ghosts up.
And we demoed a bunch of walls as this period as we were shut down, and we installed 3 new changing rooms, like single person changing rooms. Now there's not just one room where everyone changes
with the
together.
cameras in them. Yeah.
No, I have no cameers at the gym.
God
Don't put that out there.
damn it.
Now they have to go in individual rooms and change one at a time. And stuff,
Look at her Blammer. Big old sweaty Blammer. She's been doing the jungle fit.
This camera's big as a. Where'd you get this?
My God.
2001. It's got a
Why is there
mini DV in it.
why is there a Panasonic shoulder mounted VHS video of me taking my blammers out of my booby top?
It's for me watching Revenge of the Nerds when I was a little kid. I put the giant VHS thing up there in the hole in the wall.
I just don't drink.
All right.
So go to jungleorlando.com to get information. Send your information there if you want. Or if you want more traditional. But I just had a couple people sign up for karate too, which is awesome.
Oh, nice.
Karateoforlando.com. That's my traditional side of it.
Yeah, if you're into the karate.
I need to get Max and Tommy into something.
Well, there's only room for one hookup trade out, and this guy is already asking for it. Apparently, he's the new you.
He'll do the same thing Lee did. He'll barf some Cheetos out, and then we'll fire him. I can't take anything seriously. I'm sorry. I just want to throw jokes in all directions. I can't take anything seriously.
That's the Daniel I know.
Seriously, he likes it better when I relax. And people are like, "How's this pandemic treating Daniel? He's crazy. He's back to his old self.
Yeah, but
when this thing ends, I'm going to be back miserable. I need as much virus as I need more COVID."
All right.
What the fuck? Let's get
Hey,
out of
hold
here.
on. What did I say when I end the show with? Hey, stay safe out there, everybody. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to say it all together. Ready?
No,
1,
I don't want to.
2, 3. Stay safe out there, everybody.
Blammo.